PMITV audiobook. I went to the guild after a long time and was surprised. The rank written on my adventurer's card is SS. At first I thought the S I saw was me looking at it wrong, but no matter how many times I rubbed my eyes, the letters were the same. My rank was there, really. I thought the SS rank was a myth. Master, my rank is S as well. Frow's 2. We can no longer display our cards so carelessly. At the counter, a guild employee smiles. Next to them, the guild master, the chief executive, is also there, smiling. It's creepy. We are very happy that you have come to our guild. And don't worry, we won't divulge your secret to the rest of the adventurers. We will never say that you are the Manga Brigade, the party that defeated the Demon King. May I shake your hand? Why, yes. I shook hands with the girl behind the counter. The guild adventurers were listening to find out what was going on here. A while ago they were drinking noisily, but now they don't move a muscle, remaining as still as stone statues. If we don't get out of here fast, we could get caught in the middle of the crowd. I don't like to stand out at all. The Manga Brigade. Really? He was the one who defeated the Demon King and even captured the false hero. Someone should use their appraisal skills to look at all their stats. Wow, they're even sexier than I imagined. I hope we can be friends. One of them stands up cautiously. This is not good. Everyone is coming this way. We quickly went out and changed our appearance with the camouflage rings. Asterisk tap 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 asterisk. A group of adventurers from the guild come running out to look for us. How frightening. I didn't know the Manga Brigade's name had become so famous. HMPH Frau and her friends are getting famous. QA. What are you talking about? Don't get carried away with being famous. You're too conceited, Panda. Now that I'm a legendary fairy, it's only natural for you to look up to me. Kiu. It is clear that I am destined to go down in history as one of the Lord's slaves, Panda, but enough is enough. You had the nerve to say otherwise, now I will give you your comeuppance. Frau and Panda start fighting. Thanks to the rings, no one can see them, so their conflict goes unnoticed by the human eye. By the way, Master, since the weather is so nice, why don't we go down to the sea for a swim? You're right. I was thinking it would be a good idea to go swimming since we have the ocean nearby. Besides, I also wanted to go to the beach where my mother had washed up. Then it's settled, we'll go to the beach. Keed notices my bad mood and wraps her arms around me. I think I will enjoy the beach. The blue sky, white clouds, and shining sun. The sea stretches into the distance. The ocean. QA. Frau and Panda immediately fly out to sea. By the way, Frau was in her human size and wearing a bathing suit. Master, I borrowed an umbrella. You didn't have to. It's okay, I'm a slave after all. Kid in a bathing suit is as beautiful a sight as ever. On this beach, her style stands out and instantly captivates any viewer. Her long white hair, reflecting the dazzling sunlight, greatly stand out, increasing her beauty every time it flutters in the wind. Her pale breasts swaying every time she walked was quite a treat for the men. Her large, clear, golden eyes were like jewels sparkling under the sun. Kid walked over and placed the umbrella in the sand. It's ready. Kid, let's go swimming. Here I come. Kid ran out at the same time, grabbing my hand and pulling me towards the sea. Master, the water is cold. So this is the ocean. I squatted down and with my hands grabbed some water and sipped it. It's so salty. It is true what they say, sea water is salty. You didn't have to. It's okay, I'm a slave after all. Kid in a bathing suit is as beautiful a sight as ever. On this beach, her style stands out and instantly captivates any viewer. Her long white hair, reflecting the dazzling sunlight, greatly stand out, increasing her beauty every time it flutters in the wind. Her pale breasts swaying every time she walked was quite a treat for the men. Her large, clear, golden eyes were like jewels sparkling under the sun. Kid walked over and placed the umbrella in the sand. It's ready. Kid, let's go swimming. Here I come. Kid ran out at the same time, grabbing my hand and pulling me towards the sea. Master, the water is cold. So this is the ocean. I squatted down and with my hands grabbed some water and sipped it. It's so salty. It is true what they say, sea water is salty. Tilda. Kid hugs my arm with joy. I couldn't help but feel a thrill at the soft sensation of her breasts pressing against me. My lord, you should also think of Frau. Why yes. Frau grabbed my other arm. Like Kid, she attracted the stares of everyone on the beach, men and women alike. Frau-san. Kid splashes Frau with water. How dare you? You asked for it. Viewer. They amused themselves by splashing each other with water. As I watched them in the distance, I was playing with Shark Boy. Glub glub. Okay. Sure. Wow, Rojuk. So you can dive, too. For a brief time, Rojuk dives into the water. I didn't think he was a beast that took well to water, but he isn't doing badly at all. Oh. What is it? My bathing suit. Kid is in the water up to her neck and looks embarrassed. What is this? Something like a rope was tangled around my leg, so I grabbed it and pulled it up. It's Kid's swimsuit. Specifically, the top half that covers her breasts. Master, if you don't mind, could you give me that? Kid, who was hiding her chest with both hands, blushed and spoke while looking down. Tilda. That was fun. Frau stretches out her limbs and lies down on top of the sand. Kid and I were already lying down as well, the umbrella covering us and the cool breeze blowing. From time to time, out of the corner of my eye, I see Panda and Rojuk flying around. Looks like those two haven't had enough fun yet. Shark Boy is also in the water and it looks like he won't be back for a while. Master, what will we do next? Kiwos is taking care of everything, and the ship will be ready to sail shortly. It looks like we were included in a plan that was almost finished. They said this offshore study was already scheduled. And then we showed up at just the right time, so they had to make some rushed adjustments. That said, there was one thing I found curious. How come we didn't know about the other continents? I opened the fold-up map to check, but the map was cut off a few dozen kilometers from land. There was an invisible wall that prevented me from going any further. But this is not because there is a physical wall, it is the limit of the scroll's capacity. We still don't know how big the world really is. It is exciting to think that there is a whole new world beyond the sea. It can be said that the Mainayu Brigade's new journey begins here. I got up. The white sandy beach, when I think that this is where my mother washed up, I have a strange feeling that I can't put into words. Kid and Frau also get up and look at the same landscape. Master's mother is a foreigner just like me, right? Does the fact that the Lord is a dragonoid mean that his parents were also dragons? My mother. A dragonoid? No, I don't think so. But if you think about it, rebuilding your body is nothing more than using what's already within you as material to empower yourself, and I think the fact that the Lord was able to become a dragonoid means that he originally possessed that element. Uncharacteristically, Frau makes a strong point. In those days I was thinking about my getting stronger and my body transforming. In other words, what happened to me at that moment was all in order to make my body more efficient. I transformed into a state where I was more useful to myself. If that is the case, then surely it is strange to gain such a powerful quality that was not there at all. It is reasonable to think that it was there originally. Now I am a dragonoid, but perhaps I had inherited dragon blood from birth. I feel things are starting to make sense. Thank you, Frau. Now I know what I have to do. He, compliments are always well received. While stroking her head, Frau shakes her pigtails while smiling. Maybe my mother was a half-dragon of sorts. I'll have to look for a dragonoid to find out for sure what I am. I guess that's what it means to find your roots. Toru-kun. I looked back when I heard my name. Kyo's was on the road near the beach. We have a problem. And I could really use your help. Okay. What do you need me to do? A strange ship has docked in port. A strange ship has arrived in port. That's what Kyo's told us. I quickly got dressed and headed for the port, and immediately understood what he was trying to tell me upon getting there. That's the ship you're referring to. Yes. There were many people gathered in the harbor to see the ship. The ship was somewhat offshore, and from this distance one could judge how large it was. The surface faintly reflected the light, as if it were made of metal, and there were no masts or sails. I have no idea how it could work. Kyo said it was strange because the form that appeared was unknown. Last Warrior's boats are all wooden, powered by wind or oars. Compared to those, this particular one seemed too strange. If I had to guess, I would say that this situation resembles that of the golem we encountered in the fairy forest. Are there people on board? Judging by the lack of movement, it's highly unlikely that there's anyone on it. Is there anything you want me to do? I want you to go investigate. It's possible there are demons running that ship. It is most likely a ship-shaped ruin. But how has it remained intact so far? Could it be that it is extremely durable? One more thing. If you could, I'd like you to check if it still works. You're thinking what I'm thinking, aren't you? Yes, I want to know if you can cross the sea in that thing. Kyo's left the port as he said, I'm going to report to His Majesty, you take care of the rest. Well, let's investigate. Frau. You don't have to tell me. Frau flew up and sprinkled her fairy dust all over us. We flew over the surface of the sea and approached the ship. It's very dirty, and there doesn't seem to be any signs of life. I'd say it's over 100 meters long. The large ship creaked as it floated on the surface of the sea. There is a small tower-like structure near the center, and what appears to be windows are lined up across it. However, the windows were so dirty that it was impossible to look inside. Did you get any feedback from your assessment skills? There don't seem to be any humans. But there are some monsters. There may be people trapped inside. Let's go in and search. I put my feet on the deck. Bird droppings, algae and fish carcasses stick to my shoes. It does not appear to be an environment inhabited by people. How long had this thing been adrift in the sea? I called Panda and Rojuk from their seals. We're going to have to split up and search the ship. Frau, Panda and Rojuk, you guys take care of eliminating any enemies you see. I got it. QA. Sha. Asterisk Dunk asterisk. I opened the door and entered a room within the ship. The interior appeared to have been sealed and was quite clean. A metal walkway led to the rear. Light. Keed creates an orb of light with her magic. There were several doors throughout the length of the hallway. Any sign of demons? No, Master. I don't think there are any here. Asterisk Crawink asterisk. I opened one of the doors. The room was empty. It looked as if it had been unused for a long time. I tried another door, but it was also empty. Master, I found something. Show me. In the room Keed entered, there was a stack of metal boxes. I took one and opened the lid. A bottle. They seemed to be high-grade potions. Really? I had never seen a box like this one, and one that contained so many high-grade potions. When we opened another box, I found 12 vials of superlative antidote, another 12 vials of high-grade recovery potions, and some bottles that looked like sake. I opened one of the bottles and when I drank it, the smooth taste made me feel relaxed. It is the best sake I have ever tasted. I shudder to think how much a bottle of this would cost. After all, this ship has been wandering around for who knows how long. I'll put it in my magic storage for now. We went back out into the hallway, and then found some stairs leading up. What is this room for? We are at the top of the tower-like structure. There were 2 rows of board-like objects lined up, like a table tilted at an angle. When I touched the surface of the board, it beeped out of nowhere. Asterisk pin. 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 Pin dot asterisk. At the same time, a sound emanated from all the stone slabs and a light green image-like object appeared on their surface. This is our current location. Hey, is it me, or is that thing moving? I think this may be some kind of golem, Master. Keith's words surprised me. That makes a lot of sense. This must be a ship-shaped golem. I find no explanation as to how this thing came to move if it is not being powered by something. The technology of the ancient race continues to amaze me. Why did it react that way? What if it's here because I'm a dragonoid? The golem we encountered in the forest reacted the same way. If that's the case, maybe the ship came here because it was lured here by you, Master. This is too much, even for me. I looked at the board again and lithographs began to appear. Would you like to dock at this location? Click yes/no. Yes. The ship shook a little. Has the anchor come loose? On the other hand, it seems safe to assume that the ship is no longer at risk of being dragged further. It doesn't look like the ship has any problems, and it's in good condition, so why would they have let it wander off on its own? I don't know, maybe it had been asleep for a long time, and suddenly woke up again. I see. That may be a possibility. That would explain why the interior of the ship is so clean. Although if we are going out to sea with this boat, it will have to be cleaned some more. The inside is fine, but the outside is so dirty that I don't dare use it in this condition. A high-pressure wash with Keith's magic should suffice. We left the room and went downstairs. I can't see anything. Darkness pervades the area at the top of the stairs. Keith again creates an orb of light and illuminates our surroundings, but the darkness is too dense for the light to spread. This situation brings back memories. It's like that Berserker Valley dungeon, the lair of the undead. I activated my dragon eye and stayed alert. Asterisk. There was a voice that seemed to echo from the depths of the place. At the end of the passage, there was a humanoid figure shrouded by a black mist. It is a high-level undead, Shadow Man. This demon uses magic that causes confusion and paralysis, and it mainly manipulates dark and ice magic. It is also a nasty demon that can pierce physical objects and cripple the person it possesses. But fortunately, it's no match for me. I instantly closed the distance and hit it in the head with my fist. The darkness faded and the interior of the ship was slightly illuminated. There seems to be more than one. Then let's clean this place up. Relying on Keith's assessment skills, we took care of all the remaining demons. After killing about 15 of them, the darkness completely disappeared from the ship. Is there more sake? No, it's just a bunch of junk. My assessment skills tell me there are useful objects here, but I don't know what they are for or how they are used. We entered the room and found another metal box. When I looked inside the box Keith was holding, I saw that it was indeed filled with a jumble of things I couldn't understand. Oh, are these binoculars? I peered outside through the round window of the room. I thought I heard a small sound, so I used the binoculars to look towards the harbor. Surprisingly, it seemed very close. So much so that I could see the wrinkles of an old man's face. This thing is amazing. All the binoculars I've used are like toys in comparison. What else is there? How about this? Keith handed me an object that looked like an eyeball cut in half. It seemed to be designed to stick somewhere, as its back was sticky. I put it on my forehead. Wow, my vision is getting wider, and everything is spinning around. I feel bad. I quickly shook it off. The other thing we could use would be a quick water boiler or this insect-repelling light. I guess there's nothing else interesting anymore. We left the room and headed further downstairs. We found a bedroom that contained triple bunk beds and single beds. In one of the doors there was a room that was described as power room, and inside it there was a huge kind of organ like a beating heart. I closed the room quickly. We'd better not let anyone in there. That left one last door that was closed. It doesn't look like any door I've ever seen. There seems to be something in here. Maybe this is the room where the valuables are kept. I pulled out a wire. And I inserted it into the keyhole and activated my great thief skill. Within seconds, the door was unlocked and opened wide. This is an amazing discovery, Master. I had also been happy when Keed came over to hug me. There were 2 beast eggs in the room. I carefully scrub with my brush and then use water magic to clean the surface of the ship. The fact that my magic doesn't put a hole in it proves that this hull is quite resistant. After cleaning the top of the ship, I went below to see how the work was progressing elsewhere. The sailors work very hard to make the ship shiny. With Keed and Frau present, the ship looked brand new. The vessel floating in the sea with a dull, iron color was an imposing figure. It is an object that seems to be the very form of a man's passion. I can't wait to see it in action. This boat is completely mine, but it will stay in La Storia. This country will manage and maintain it, so I couldn't be happier. Also, while cleaning the ship, I received a message from King Armand. I have heard from the King of La Storia about your quest to a new continent. You may have relinquished the title of hero, but you are still a member of our nation. If you have any requests, let me know. I will do my best to help. I look forward to your great discoveries. King Armand. There is no escape. I can feel the atmosphere developing into a grand plan along with the defeat of the Demon King. In fact, ever since we got this ship, the La Storia people have been talking about the plan to explore the open sea. A round trip that was thought to be almost impossible until now has been recognized as almost certain with the arrival of this ship. Moreover, this is the first time a ship-shaped ruin has been found, so it is natural that it attracts attention. My lord, it appears that the cleaning is complete on the outside and inside. Thank you for the report. In addition to cleaning, we have to load the supplies. I still can't rest easy. I think that's it. We did it. The voices of the sailors echoed through the harbor. Then, ships loaded with goods began to move one after the other, heading for the ruined ship anchored offshore. Looking through my binoculars, I could see workers hoisting the cargo with ropes. We'll be done soon. It's taken us 2 weeks to finish this. It was inevitable. The original plan has undergone major changes. In the original plan drawn up by the King of La Storia, only a maximum of 35 people could participate. But, with the arrival of this ship, it allowed that number to rise even higher. As a result, the ship has a medical bay and a dining room prepared. There will also be captains who will manage the ship while I am gone. Hey. Frau returns from the ship on top of Panda. Have they finished loading supplies yet? QA. We are now ready to leave. 2 carriages arrived at the port at just the right time, both carrying Kyuos and King La Storia each. It's still spectacular no matter how many times I see it. An ancient ship built with the lost technology of the ancient race that can surely cross the open sea. His Majesty says that you will be given a title and land depending on the results of this expedition. You belong to Armand, But you must never forget that this plan is directed by our country. The king nods in satisfaction at Kyuo's words. Both Armand and La Storia are the two countries that have high expectations regarding the situation that is being handled. It is natural that this would happen, since national power varies greatly depending on the matter at hand. Well, I don't think I'll be able to tell the difference, so I'll give it to the two countries at random. I may not discover things that are really useful. The trip will start the day after tomorrow at dawn. Make sure you are prepared. We nodded in agreement. The sun had not yet risen. We went out the front door of the Aban house. Today will mark the beginning of the nation of La Storia's initiative to survey the open sea. There are 3 objectives. In other words, this does not change our original plans at all. Only now we are making this trip on behalf of La Storia. Walking, seeing unusual things, eating well, making friends. Plain and simple. Master. Home. As soon as I walked out the door, I saw Kyuo's. I can't help but notice how calm he seems. Your mission is simple: visit places, see unusual things, eat well, and make friends. Yes. And I suppose you're also going to find out Misty's origin. He looked at the sky with his hands behind his back. I don't think she lost her memory. What do you mean? I have a feeling that there is some big secret concerning the other continents that we can't even imagine. I think she didn't want to tell us, so she pretended to have amnesia. Do you think she was hiding something? Aren't you overthinking things? I hope you are right, and that this is just mere speculation. Kyuo smacked me on the back at the same time as he said, I'll be waiting for your return. You have arrived. For some reason, Bill was in port. He had his sword drawn and was blocking our way. What are you doing? If you go on this trip, you won't be back here for a long time. Before that happens, I want to settle a score with you. Which of us is the stronger man? He was doubting his words as he wielded his sword. Face me. Fight with pride like the nobleman you are. You can't help it, you're in a ban. No, I'm just a commoner. Stop saying nonsense. We're cousins. That makes you a nobleman. If anything happens to me, you will be the successor of the Aban family. The speed of his attacks increases. Their sharpness and precision are intensified. I told Keed and Frau not to interfere. I didn't draw my sword, so I just focused on dodging his attacks. Make sure you come back alive. I won't let you die out there. I know. Don't let anyone beat you. I will defeat you. You are my rival, and I will be waiting for you, stronger than ever. I almost burst out laughing when I heard Bill's words. I guess I can't ignore his feelings and keep playing with him. So I decided to take another stance and prepared to fight. He is somewhat clumsy just like his father. He has a hard time seeing things that are in front of him, but I will not repeat the same mistakes that those 2 brothers had. I drew my sword. And in the blink of an eye I cut the blade of his sword in half. Clink asterisk. The blade fell to the ground. See you soon, Toru. Same to you, Bill. Thus concluded our farewell. I put my sword back in its sheath without looking back. We've been expecting you, sir. In the port were all the sailors who would accompany us on this trip. There was no need for them to wait for us at the port. But as a matter of principle for the captain and crew, they want to make sure that the Lord is well embarked. They say it makes them feel more secure. It is something I do not understand. On the shore was a boat gleaming under the light. It was the ruined ship Rurik. It is named after my father. He was someone who loved the sea. Kyuo's was very pleased. We climbed up the rope ladder to the deck. The captain and his crew of 15 were lined up. We are ready to set sail, Toru-sama. Okay, we can go now. The black-bearded captain nodded and signaled his crew. The rope ladder was picked up and a sound was heard coming from the ship to report the departure. The anchor is raised and the ship begins to silently move forward. The captain and crew have already learned how to handle the ship. Some things still took some getting used to, but getting it up and running is no problem at all. The ship entered the sea and gradually moved away from the harbor. We've finally made it, Master. I guess we won't be back for a while. Everyone in town will be jealous. We'll go to the outside world. We'll see things no one has ever seen before. QA. Yes, it's uncharted territory that we are going into. I can't help but be excited. Master. At the same time I heard Keith's voice, I saw the sun appear in the east. I squinted at the dazzling golden light. The sky seemed to have a gradation of orange to dark blue. Keith entwined her arm with mine. I will be with you wherever you go, Master. Yes, we will go together to new lands. QA. The boat was moving very smoothly through the blue sea. As I continue to watch from the deck, I realize how small I am in the vastness of the ocean. Wow. I never imagined the ocean could be so immense. *PU******. Birds flew overhead. The wind blowing is very pleasant, and every time the ship rocks, it makes me feel strange. I had never been in such a large body of water on a ship before. I felt like I was drifting through a giant puddle in a leaf boat, or something. In the meantime, I moved to the control room. Toru-sama. How are things going? So far, no problem, sir. But this is really a wonderful ship. It has all the functions needed to cross the sea, and it even has a management function that allows you to live comfortably in each cabin. The technology of the ancient species was at a terrifying level. It looks like there's an automatic navigation system that, when used, has the ship take you to the destination you entered on its own. In fact, the ship had a map of the world, and according to the data, the place where we lived was an island compared to the rest of the world. The place I always thought was a continent turned out to be a small island. The world can become frighteningly large. This information is known only to the top echelons of La Storia and the people on the ship. We cannot announce it to the people of our world that we live on an island. Telling them would only cause unnecessary confusion. Anyway, we are trying to get to the nearest continent. Estimated time of arrival is 2 weeks. This ship moves quite fast, but still seems to take a considerable amount of time. Captain, there's a 50-meter-long creature passing directly below us. Be alert. If it gets any closer, attack. A sailor warns in front of the monitor. The light green image shows a mass moving beneath our position. According to Keith, it is called a downward locator. It reacts to objects moving directly under the hull. There are also other upward detectors that search the perimeter of the ship, but they don't seem to do much reacting. It is natural that monsters are the most vigilant in the open sea. By the way, Toru-sama, have you checked the freezer? Freezer? What's that? Oh, you don't know, do you? I'll show you. We let the sailors take care of the place and went to another room in the lower part of the ship. This is the freezer. It's cold. It was so cold that my body was shivering. The large room was filled with cold air and piles of frozen fish, meat and vegetables. The magical power that Toru-sama bestows on the ship keeps the temperature of this room below 50 degrees at all times. And I can assure you that without this room, we would never have been able to bring so many people with us. You say this is the key to our survival. Exactly. The water tank with its purification system and this room make it possible for us to sail for a long time. It would have been difficult to cross the sea with a wooden boat like the ones we had before. The captain looked relieved as he stroked his beard. In short, if it were not for this ship, we would not have been able to cross the sea for long. The original plan to sail a wooden boat was very much suicidal. Then can we keep the fish we catch here? Sure. But if you catch too much, we'll be eating fish for a long time. I'll show some restraint. The captain and I left the freezer and headed for the deck. On the way, we peeked into the room where the sailors slept. There was a young man snoring in a triple bunk. The room is small and the environment is comfortable enough for 6 people. There were also 2 desks where you could write. I'll scold him later. Apparently, he had run away from his duties. The captain closed the door quietly and stroked his beard. As we stepped out onto the deck, we encountered a group of surveyors looking out to sea. It's rare to see your face around here, Toru-sama. The leader of the research team, Ryu Non-Thark, bowed. Although she was the daughter of a duke, she was a stranger who volunteered for this trip. Boom. The ship shakes violently. The ship is sinking. It's definitely an impact that could have caused serious damage to the ship. Ryu-sama, calm down, it was just a wave. Oh, sorry, I was a little surprised. The vice captain tries to calm the girl down, and Ryu tenses her expression. I guess that's normal. The group members seem to be used to it, as there is no particular reaction. I hadn't realized how bad the people down here are having a hard time. By the way, Captain, if we are attacked by a monster at sea, can you tell us what measures to take? Of course, Toru-sama, follow me this way. The captain invited us to come on deck. On the deck, there were 2 large metal plates that appeared to have been joined together. They were attached to a metal platform that looked like a hat, and had an atmosphere that somehow moved from side to side. The captain used a small box on deck to communicate with the control room. I want you to open fire. Open fire. *****. A blue flash shot out from 2 joined metal plates, and a column of water rose in the distance. As you can see, one of our defenses is similar to a cannon. Seriously. This ship has defenses equal to that of a cannon. To be precise, it's probably more powerful than that. It would be able to kill a red dragon in 1 hit. Great, that's a relief. I'm very impressed with this boat. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Ryu-sama, please calm down. Toru-sama is present. It really is a great ship. The success of our plan is assured. Ryu tightens her expression again. By the way, a cannon is a weapon powered by magic. They are powerful, but few in number, with large and heavy designs, and are mainly used to guard the royal palace. I have come to hear that they rarely use these weapons. Ryu-sama, who had beautiful blonde hair and pigtails on both sides, looked embarrassed for a reason. Besides, she was looking at me. I heard that Toru Dono is the hero who saved us from the Demon King, and I wondered if I was someone attractive to him. Yes, you are a beautiful woman. Oh. He thinks I'm a beautiful woman. Did you hear that, Vice Captain? I should note it in my research diary that I was praised by Toru Dono. I'm sorry, Ryu-sama, but the diary is for business purposes only, not for personal use. What would your father think if he read it? I'll write it in my own diary then. See you later. Ryu and the others leave the deck. A few seconds later I heard the voices of those walking away. What should I do now? It's time to have children with Toru Dono, and so on. I heard the vice captain's voice. Ryu-sama, you can't have children with Toru-sama just because you exchanged words. The captain was laughing at the situation. They're a lively bunch, don't you think? It's going to be a long trip. By the way, what is the captain's purpose on this voyage? He leaned his elbows on the railing as he gazed out to sea. By simple nature, the sea is a wild lover for a man. Sometimes no reason is needed to want to go far away. He lifted the brim of his hat a little and smiled. This chapter concludes Arco 3. I drop a fishing line into the sea while whistling. It's another sunny day, the ship is anchored and laundry is drying on deck. On the shimmering surface of the sea, fish jumped in the distance. Sha. Glub glub. The 2 animals guarding the fishery were Rojuk and Sharkboy. Rojuk circled his body on the railing and looked out to sea, while Sharkboy, who was in a bathtub, looked at the fishing rod. Panda was with Kid, who was drying clothes. Apparently he finds the sheets flapping in the wind interesting. How's the fishing going? Maybe the bait isn't the right one. I still haven't gotten a bite. But the detector says there's a school of fish right below us. Is the bait the wrong one? Frau returned from the control room and informed us of the situation below the ship. I pick up the hook and set a small shrimp. Then I threw it back into the sea. I started fishing as a way to pass the time, but when I couldn't catch any fish, I felt I had to do everything I could to catch one. The captain and crew of the boat, of course, and even the research team had caught more than 3 fish each. I can't accept that I'm the only one who hasn't caught a single fish. I don't care if it's one the size of my hand, I want to catch one. Master, how's the fishing going? Kid, in her apron, smiled, scratching her hair by her ear. At the same time a dry sheet was in her other hand. Not good. How's it going for you? I finally finished drying everything I had washed. It all smells really nice now. She unfolded the sheet and wrapped it around to cover me and her. It certainly smells good. The sun, the sea breeze and Kid's soft scent. Hey, Frau 2. Frau 2. The fairy tightly curls her body between mine and Kid's. Frau smiles and says, it really smells like the warmth of the sun. Master. The fishing rod. Ah. I pulled it up immediately, and a red fish was caught on the hook. It had a size of about 40 centimeters, so it was big enough to eat. The captain approaches us. You've caught a big fish, Toru-sama. Is it a good fish? What's so special about it? Indeed it is. It is so good that it is served at last Oreo celebrations, and can be eaten as boiled or grilled sashimi. Isn't sashimi prepared raw, though? While we're here, I guess we could try it with this fish. We will consult the cook immediately. Master, what will you do with the eggs? Oh, I forgot. Kid reminds me of the beast eggs we found on the boat. It may be time to incubate them. They could be underwater types like Shark Boy. There is no way to get water on land fast enough. I'm excited about what will be born. If possible, Frau would be glad to have a new bed. Q. What, can't I wish for a new bed? Q. Frau is always looking for the best bed. You're just a waypoint. Hey, don't bite my hair. Frau and Panda start fighting again. I ignored them as always, and started pouring magic power into the egg. The appearance of the egg I found this time was very similar to Rojuke's. It had bumps on the surface and bright blue spots. How's it going, Master? Kid, who was standing next to me, was wagging her tail vigorously, as if she was having fun. After about granting the egg 30% of my magic, the magical power absorption stopped. Compared to the previous eggs, this one has absorbed the least. Could it be that it was left on the ship because it was a useless summoned beast? But I think it is a mistake to think that just because an egg absorbs a large amount of energy it has to have superior abilities. It must have as much power as Rojuke and Shark Boy. The egg had begun to leak after I bled on it. It then opened, emitting a kind of vapor. I don't think it will come out. Look again. A few seconds later, a bird-like creature emerged from inside. Her body glowed metallic blue, with no eyes and a tiara-like ornament on her head. The overall silhouette was stocky and round. It looks like a small bird the size of a hawk. Chupai. The bird bounced up and over to me. She rubbed her body against my leg and pampered me. Is this a new partner? It's cute, but is it useful? Give me the details, kid. It seems to be able to search for enemies from the sky. It can transmit images to other animals, and it can also transmit voices and record images. So it's like a command center. Basically, my familiars can't work together without me. And with this bird, I seem to be able to maintain a certain degree of cohesion even if I'm not there. But what is the point of transmitting voices and recording images? Asterisk, give me the details. Asterisk. Asterisk, it seems to be able to search for enemies from the sky. It can transmit images to other animals, and can also transmit voices and record images. Asterisk. Suddenly, the bird repeated the same lines Kid and I just said. Well, I understood the meaning of voice transmission. I assume that image recording is a similar capability. From now on, your name will be Chupai. It's cute. You're beautiful, Chupai. Chupai. That's a lie, right? Are you really happy with such a horrible name? Frau complains, but Chupai seems happy, so it's okay. Now, let's quickly wake up the next animal. The other egg was a smooth, translucent egg with a white tinge. The magic power I poured into it was about 40%. I spilled some blood and finalized the contract. What came out of the egg was a gelatinous, transparent creature like an umbrella. It rose gently and emitted a faint light. It looks a lot like the jellyfish I saw in the ocean. Or rather, it looks exactly like one. According to the assessment, it is a beast that serves as a light source. It is said that they can illuminate their surroundings with a strong light, both on land and in the water. That's it. Yes, and it serves as an umbrella in case it rains. I guess there are all kinds of beasts. However, drifting jellyfish are nice to see. Like a large transparent umbrella with countless tentacles hanging down. They seem to have a laid-back personality, or perhaps they just drift along without showing any interest in me, their master. Thou shalt be called Curitan. Cura. Curitan let out a squeak. I'm impressed that it can at least squeak. That, and he seems to be able to listen to commands. Kiwi. Cura. Kiwi. Curitan extended his tentacles towards Panda, pulled him close and then rubbed his body. It seems that Curitan likes Panda. It also seems to be unexpectedly strong, as Panda cannot escape the tentacles, but is at their mercy. They're like a couple of kids. Frau also immediately climbed on Curitan to check out the feeling. It certainly looks like it feels good to stick with him on a hot day. Curitan does not mind being ridden by Frau, and did not show any kind of rejection. Chupai. Cura. Chupai. Kiwi. The three animals appear to be having a conversation. Curitan releases Panda and starts floating again. It seems that Chupai immediately showed her leadership. She must have told him to let Panda go. BB. Suddenly, a sound echoed through the ship. Toru-sama, please come to the deck immediately. What I heard was the captain's voice. I had Chupai and Curitan return to the seal and we headed for the control room. She appears to be a castaway. A woman with hardly any clothes on was lying on the deck. She had semi-long pink hair and an eye-catching appearance. She appeared to be unconscious, soaked all over and trembling slightly. Judging by her appearance, I can guess that she is someone of high status. A daughter of a noble family, perhaps. Let's get her to the infirmary for now, we need a blanket. Wrapping the woman in a blanket, I carried her deeper into the ship. The woman was still asleep in bed. Given the circumstances, I think it's safe to say she's from distant lands. She is also an elf. We are still waiting for her to wake up. I see you're awake. Where am I? In the infirmary. The woman woke up with a start. She seemed to be looking around, trying to assess the situation. By the way, she is currently wearing a t-shirt and some short pants. She was soaking wet, so Kid and Frau had to change her clothes. She immediately noticed that something was different, touched her body and learned that she did not have her equipment. Don't worry, your equipment and clothes are being washed, they should be dry within a few hours. You should drink some water. The doctors were worried that you were dehydrated. I grabbed a pitcher of water and poured it into a glass. Here, drink some. Thank you. She took it with trepidation, looked at the water in the glass, watched it for a while and then drank it in one gulp. Then, as if finally remembering her dehydration, she began to drink several glasses of water. I wonder how long she must have been drifting. I'm sure it was no more than 2 days. Phew, I feel satisfied. The woman then attempted to remove her clothes. Hey, wait a minute, what are you trying to do? I'm thanking you for what you did. Please keep your clothes on. She was still determined to take off her clothes, so I grabbed her and pulled her to stop her. Let me go, I have to make it up to you for what you've done to me. A simple thank you is enough. You don't need to do that. It's not enough. It's a tradition of my clan to do this. So don't reject me. What's wrong with this woman? Master, lunch is ready. Keed enters the room at an inopportune moment. She looked at us and then grew teary-eyed. Master, if you wanted to do that, you could have just said so. I would be pleased to do anything for you. Kid, it's not what you think. This girl is crazy. She doesn't listen to me and wants to take her clothes off. I explained the situation to Kid while holding the woman's clothes in place. I was able to convince her and she helped me control the woman who wanted to take off her clothes. Excuse me, I was surprised that some people were not happy with our clan's tradition. What kind of tradition is that? I kneel naked before my savior. I see. There's no need to do that. There is something more important I need to ask her. We sat in chairs and listened to the story of how she ended up adrift in the sea. I am Monica, daughter of the Marquis de Burflo, Lord of Sinus. Please feel free to call me Monica in a friendly manner. So, why were you lost at sea, Monica? The ship I was on was attacked by a kraken while searching for some underwater ruins. We are far away from any safe areas, and I ended up in the middle of nowhere in the wreckage of the ship. Keat and I exchanged glances. I knew it was someone from the outside world. Considering the geographical position we were in, his story could be true. Were there any other survivors besides me? I'm sorry. We are still trying to find out if there are any other sailors on board. So they died. Thinking we should leave her alone for now, we left the room. It's a shame. There's nothing we could have done. Unfortunately, we didn't find anyone else. As I walked down the hallway, I exchanged words with Keed. I talked to her to make sure she was okay, and she doesn't seem like a bad person. If it turned out to be a problem, we planned to put her in a cell. But that won't be necessary. Do you like this? QA. Huh. If you dislike it so much, wash yourself. Q. Shut up and keep quiet. I'll blow you away. I heard shouting on deck. Frau was washing Panda in a bathtub. Near her in another tub were Chupai and Curitan were bathing. Suddenly, I felt another presence and turned my eyes. You Summer, you must talk to me quickly. Our time is limited. Another time. Wara. The fairy that accompanies Toru Dono is so cute. And the animals with her, they're also very cute. I'll try to make friends with her. I must write that in the research journal. As I have already repeated many times, please write your personal matters in your own diary. This data is unnecessary in the research journal. From behind the turret, Liu and the vice captain were watching Frau and the beasts in the distance. I guess they have nothing else to do. For now your work is stopped because there is not much to do on the ship, so until we get to dry land, there is nothing more to do. Liu approaches Frau. Hello, Frau Dornot. You're the girl who does research. Yes. I'm Liu, and Frau is a fairy, right? I see you are very observant. Yeah, that. Do you want to be my friend? She seems very uncomfortable. She is also in a way as if she was going to pounce on Frau at any moment. Then help me wash these kids. Me. Yes, come here. The moment Liu touches Panda, her body trembles. Unbelievable. I finally touched one of Toru Dorno's beasts. Vice Captain, look at me. From now on I am also one of Toru Dorno's beasts. You Summer, please calm down and think carefully about the things you are saying. I was so excited that I expressed my darkest wish. Frau froze as she watched the view. Keith and I returned to the interior of the ship. She's a very strange girl. I don't think she's a bad girl. She could be worse, like some deranged person who wants to take over the ship or something. We headed to the cafeteria for lunch. Is this sashimi? The cod I caught was very well processed and served on a plate. In the cafeteria, other sailors were also eating, and the atmosphere was pleasant and comfortable. Now that I notice, some of the people here look extremely dizzy even as they eat their meals. They even have pale faces and do not move at all. Of course. Most of them are members of the research team. They have the air of being living zombies. I felt so sorry for them that I couldn't even look at them. Oh, this is good. I added a pinch of salt to the sashimi. It is slightly salty and crunchy. It was fresh and not bad to eat raw. When I finished eating, a broadcast echoed through the cafeteria. Master Toru, please report to the control room immediately. That is the voice of the captain. I wonder if something is wrong. I saw a huge monster a few miles ahead. The captain's report made me nervous. Apparently, through sight and detectors, they found something in our way. Can't we avoid it? I've changed course twice, but every time I do, it still appears on our radar. I think it's following us. What is it exactly? A kraken. A soft-bodied sea monster. Perhaps it was the same kraken that attacked Monica's boat. Prepare to attack. Roger that. Get your weapons ready. The control room becomes hectic. The gun ports on the deck are activated and locked into combat position. I took out my binoculars and looked at the horizon from the control room. Brace for impact. What? Suddenly, the surface of the sea burst into a column of water. The huge mouth of the kraken appeared in front of us. Suddenly, something came out from behind the kraken. A thick, sturdy body with blue scales covering the entire body. It was a water dragon. I don't know its size, but it seems that the head alone must measure more than 10 meters. I have never seen anything like this. The dragon pounces on the kraken and swallows it in one bite. After such a feat, it turned its gaze to the ship. The look on its face was enough to make my hair stand on end. It emanated a murderous intent. A blue water dragon appeared in front of us. Blue water dragons are water attribute creatures that are the third most powerful of the dragon species. However, as they grow into adult dragons, they become much stronger and wield the highest power among mid-ranking dragons. And the scary thing is that there is a tremendous power difference between the lower and middle ranks. To be honest, I don't know if I can even win against it. Toru-sama, what are you going to do? I guess I'll have to fight it. It's not like it's going to just let us go free. Understood. The water dragon stares at us. I would never have imagined that I would meet such an enemy at sea. Captain, how's the magic tank coming? More than 90%. Will it stop a dragon's breath attack? Probably. After giving orders to the captain, I went up to the deck with Keith and Frau. Toru. Monica. I ran into Monica in the hallway. Apparently, the noise across the ship caused her to leave the infirmary. What's going on? Is it the kraken? No, it's a water dragon. You. I stumbled backwards from the movements of the ship. Even on another continent, a dragon is a monster that the races fear. Even if the kraken is dead, there is still a risk that the ship will be wrecked. I think the dragon sees no difference between the kraken and us. Keith came over to me and helped me to my feet. Don't worry. Master is here, and with him by our side, the dragon will be eliminated in no time. You trust me that much? But it's hard for a person to kill a mid-rank dragon. Master is the master, I know you will be able to defeat it. That is not really encouraging. Monica tilts her head sideways. But I'm a little worried because I feel Kid's expectations of me are getting higher and higher. Even if I have a high level, I am not invincible. We'd better get out soon. You're right. Monica, go back to the infirmary and stay there. Yes. Monica returned to her room while I went out on deck with Kid. It's still on alert. Yes, I wish it could just go away and leave us alone. As the dragon looked at the ship, it was completely immobile. The ship will try to change course and slowly move us away from the dragon, just as I had ordered. I thought maybe it might lose interest in us. Zwilawawara. Suddenly, a roar from the dragon echoed throughout the ship. Do not run. Fight. That's what I felt after hearing that roar. It's quite motivated. Maybe it thinks the ship is a living creature. So it thinks we're a monster that has entered its territory. Yes, there is no choice but to fight back. I'm going to have to unleash the power of the sacred weapons. Level 4200. I also activate my Dragon Knight and Great Thief jobs. I called Rojuk, Shark Boy and Chupai for support. And I accidentally let Curitan out as well. It's too much trouble to bring him back, so I've decided to leave him under Chupai's command. I will put up a shield. Please be prepared for impact. A message was transmitted from the control room. The dragon was making a preliminary breathing motion. A thin pink membrane covers the ship. This was another function of the ship. Zshawawawa. A blast of water hits the boat. But thanks to the shields, there is almost no damage. As expected of a ship built by an ancient race. Its resistance is more than extraordinary. Start the bombing. A flash of light shoots out of the weapon portals and strikes the dragon. An explosion is generated and the dragon screams in pain. It appears to have been damaged. Chupai, Chupai. Sha. Glop glop. Chupai gives the order, Rojuk and Shark Boy start attacking from the sky and sea. Rojuk would fly past the dragon and smash his blades into the dragon's body. In addition, Shark Boy released a flash of light under the sea and struck the beast, penetrating its body. But the damage was so slight that it is far from being strong enough to defeat it. I will use my Master Tamer job to boost Rojuk and Shark Boy's power. Rojuk and Shark Boy's reinforced attacks seemed to have annoyed the dragon. The water dragon seemed to recognize that the two were enemies that needed to be defeated first, and tried to eliminate them with several bites and breath attacks. Chupai. Chupai's instructions flew from above, and the two animals repeated their coordinated attacks with precision, as if they had trained beforehand. Thanks to Chupai, the beasts look more focused and powerful in their attacks. Yes, but Chupai is vulnerable because she only gives instructions, so Rojuk and Shark Boy are forced to be on the defensive. So why doesn't it just hit her directly? The dragon's mouth turned to Chupai. Chupai. Cura. Just before the dragon released its breath, Curitan appeared and intervened. Zushawawawa. Curitan was hit hard by the blast of high-pressure water. No, he wasn't. Curitan generated a shield that blocked the attack. Meanwhile, Rojuk and Shark Boy continue to inflict damage and reduce the dragon's strength. Chupai, Chupai, Chupai. The two began to back away after Chupai's instructions. Looks like it's my turn. I drew my sword and jumped into the sea. With the lightness of Great Thief, I ran over the surface of the sea. Zashu. I cut clean through the dragon's head like it was butter. My sword met no resistance as it pierced its body. That's a lot of food. We won't even be able to eat it all. Is there no choice but to pack as much as possible into storage and leave the rest as food for the monsters? The dragon's huge body floated in the sea. And on top of it, the crew was chopping it up. You defeated the dragon. Looking back, there was Monica. She approached us, leaned forward and looked at the corpse. Amazing, isn't it? The Lord defeated it. Toru-san is so powerful. Monica's eyes lit up as she looked at me. Suddenly, she grabbed my hand and pulled me close. You have great power, Toru-san. I am impressed. It's no big deal. I don't think you should underestimate your power like that. You are too close to the master. Please step away. Keith stands in the middle and pushes Monica back. It looked like she was growling. The hairs on her tail stood on end. Then Keith pulls me a bit, creating a distance of more than 3 meters from Monica. Now you may continue your talk. At this distance? Yes, that's the right distance. Suddenly she wavered, looking rather pale. You're still not in perfect shape. We'll talk about it later, but for now, get some rest. I'm sorry. I held out my hand and helped Monica up. Monica leaned on Keith and returned to the infirmary. Hey, my lord. Frau appeared flying in front of me. Look, I've moved up a level. Oh yeah. How high is your level? 1,300. I thought my eyes were deceiving me. As one would expect after defeating a dragon, the experience gained is nothing short of extraordinary. Keith probably also should have leveled up, I'll ask her later. In the meantime, I checked my status and discovered that my level was 3,300. Chupai. Chupai flies and descends to the ground before me. She squats down and starts pecking at my feet. You've done very well. Chupai. I reached out my right hand and stroked her head as she rubbed at me. She is very tender. Now, let's ask the captain when we can resume our voyage. Just after we left the deck, we heard a voice from behind us. Where is the dragon that Toru Dono defeated? Eluview Summer, please take a closer look at it. It's right in front of you. Wow. This is amazing. So this is a mid-rank dragon of the original species. Vice Captain, write this down in the research journal. As I've said many times, your personal stuff should be written in your diary, not in the... Wait, what did you say? Write this event in the journal. Well, finally, Eluview Summer gets it right. What's that supposed to mean? After that, Eluview climbed on top of the dragon's carcass and was screaming excitedly. Only a few days to go until we reach land. Knock knock. The door opened and behind it stood Monica. She seemed to be doing much better. Having some rest, eating properly and drinking water had improved her health somewhat. I am very grateful for everything you've done. Not only did you rescue me from the sea, but you also gave me my own room. I am going to thank you the way we do in my clan. No, that's fine, it's not necessary. Really? That's a shame. I sat down in a chair and sighed. I don't understand this girl. How do I deal with her? Well, that doesn't matter now. I came here because there's something I want to know. Is there more land besides where Monica came from? There are, but no one has ever returned from those trips. Rumor has it that there is a legendary island. A legendary island. It is a famous story. It is said that there are many ruins and artifacts. It is the island where the first divine race appeared in this world. Personally, I wish to go there someday. A race of divine beings, probably the dragon people. The legendary island, I want to go there too. I'm excited to learn more about it. The Moran still doesn't realize that the island Monica is talking about is the same place where he was born and raised. Happy Smiley Toru's clumsiness makes me despair sometimes. Still, it seems our shipbuilding skills are on par with theirs. If they had the means to cross the open sea, they would have reached the island by now. It seems I can conclude that the ship we have is the only one of its kind, at least in this continent. About returning you to your country, could you stick with us for a while longer? I am sorry for the trouble, but I cannot deliver you directly there on this ship. I will obey everything you tell me. After all, you saved my life. Monica smiled at me. When we went up on deck, there was a strong sea breeze. We've finally arrived. It's been 2 weeks since we set sail. We could see what looked like land on the horizon. That land is the continent that is our destination. This is where Keed's hometown is and where my mother was born and raised. Glop glop. Shark Boy is swimming alongside the boat. I've been letting him swim freely lately. He seems to have been enjoying it quite a bit. Toru-sama, please come to the control room. The captain was calling me. The ship will be moored offshore, and the research team will carry the luggage from the sandy beach we'll be landing on and set up a base. There, Toru-sama will land first and keep an eye out for dangerous creatures. I nodded to the captain's explanation while looking at the map. We are going to land on the edge of the continent, in a wooded and uninhabited area. The reason is simple. To secure a safe entry route that only we will know of. For us, this continent is an unknown world. The possibility of exclusion must be taken into account. Once we are ashore, a considerable source of drinking water must be secured, and food must be acquired. That's our top priority. Toru-sama, according to this map, there seems to be a river near our campsite. I think it would be best to start our search from this area. I see. If so, water will be available sooner than we thought. Well done, Vice Captain. We had exactly the same conversation a week ago. Toru blushed and shuddered. Indeed, a week ago, we had the same talk with the same members. I just wanted to test whether or not they had a good memory, ho ho ho. Toru starts laughing. Sometimes I wonder how the vice captain can deal with her. I still don't understand the relationship between the two of them. Captain, we have arrived at the established location. After the crew's report, the ship stopped. I stepped onto the sandy beach. The ship had dropped anchor offshore and sailors were unloading their belongings into small boats. It's not so different from how I imagined it. Q. Frau and Panda looked sullenly at the forest at the end of the beach. It certainly looks just like the one we have on our mainland. However, when I think of it as different scenery, I feel deeply moved. I instructed Rojuk to eliminate any dangerous monsters in the vicinity, and Shark Boy to protect the sailors. What's wrong, Keed? I noticed Keed in a daze. I was born and raised here, but I don't really feel like it. You've never been away from home. You can't blame yourself for thinking that. Maybe I have. And you, Master? Well, I still can't believe this is my mother's birthplace. Are those slimes? A few slimes came out of the forest. The monsters living here don't seem to be that different from the place where I come from. Master, the level of the slimes here. What's wrong? They're level 100. I didn't immediately understand what Keed had told me. They're level 100 slimes. Yes, that's what the evaluation indicates. A slime is a small monster that even a child can defeat. Their basic ability is the lowest of all monsters. Even if they are over 100, they don't pose a risk. But the problem here is that their level is 100 times what they are in my country. There is no way there are other monsters with a lower level than this slime. It seems that this area is high level. We chose to camp in an area that was unpopulated, but we didn't count on something like this. Should we change our camp's location? But if we move to another suitable place, it will take several days, and if that place also turns out to be the same as this one, that's another problem to add. There's no time for that. I'll use my skills to level up the research team. The research will last at most 1 year. If they can't fight properly, they will be annihilated in no time. We must prepare them for the unexpected and make them stronger. It is decided. I will talk to you as soon as possible. My lord, I found something incredible. QA. Frau returns from the forest. What is this amazing thing? And why does Panda look dirty? Frau jumped off Panda and came running down the beach. I found a building. In the forest. Yes. There was an old citadel-like building near the river, so I thought I'd go in and investigate, but the door was locked and I couldn't open it. Frau beams with pride and says, it was a good job, wasn't it? If there are no people living there, it could be used as a base. In that case, it won't be necessary to build anything here. Well done. Praise me and pet me some more. When I stroked Frau's head, her expression became relaxed, like that of a kitten. Frau led me to the building she found in the forest. The stone building is covered with ivy and is surrounded by several trees. It was also surrounded by an outer wall, making it look like some kind of fortress. We jumped over the wall and walked into the building. Gah! Inside the wall was a large number of monsters inhabiting the place. They seemed to have turned this building into their nest. So what do you think? Can we use this place as a base while we do our research? I guess so. The real problem is getting inside. The entrance to the building is unguarded, but locked. I pulled out a wire. Will you be able to open it? Yes, it's open. I picked the lock again thanks to my skills. I quickly opened the door. The inside is simpler than I thought. QA. Frau and Panda take a look inside. The inside of the building was empty and devoid of any objects. At least it's not a ruin. I got the impression that it was relatively new. I opened the door and looked into each room, but there is still nothing. I've already checked everywhere. Did you find anything? No, the place is completely empty. Now that we are sure it's safe, we decide to head back to the beach. So this is our base. I'm about to cry with joy. Vice Captain, you should write this down in the research diary. It was all thanks to Toru Dono. Yes, my lady. After all, Toru Dono is the hero. Phew. That tree shook. Are you sure it's not a demon? You summer, that was just the wind. I guess she's a bit jumpy. Right now the group is bringing in the supplies. In a few days, the base will be fully habitable. Toru Dono, I want to talk to you. Unusually, I am approached by Liu View. Judging by the serious look on her face, I guess it's related to the mission. To put it bluntly, I would like to ask you to have the Manga Brigade help us level up. We are in a high-level area, and I don't think we can defend ourselves on our own should something happen. I was thinking the same thing. We'll start tomorrow. I'm very grateful to you, Toru Dono. We shook hands and Liu View snorted excitedly. She immediately turned to the vice captain. I have shaken Toru Dono's hand. Now I will have his child. Liu View-sama, let's be clear, a handshake won't get you pregnant. Who told you that's how pregnancy works? The vice captain fixes his glasses as he speaks. The next day, with the support of the Manga Brigade, the investigation and research team began to level up. It was an easy job. Keat, Frau, Rojuk and I weakened the monsters, and then the group members would deliver the final blow. Moreover, thanks to my experience, doubling ability and general skills, their growth speed was extraordinarily fast. Monica slashes at the enemy with her fine sword. I thought she was a weak girl, but she turned out to be someone very capable. Her original level was also high, level 120, and it seems that her level was considered high in general on the continent. Incidentally, her current level is 320. She seems to be a type of swordsman who specializes in speed. Reaching level 300 in one day is like being in a dream. I've heard that the Forest of Death is a very scary place for high-level beings. The Forest of Death. Yes, that's where we are right now. It is also nicknamed the Forest of No Return. There are several high-level areas like this on this continent. Well, I live on an island, so I'm not too surprised. However, where I live, seeing high-level monsters is not a very common thing. Monica, in your country, is being level 300 considered strong? No, you are considered strong if you are at least level 800. Level 800. I see. I guess I'm still too strong even in this place. I may never fight at my full strength again. As a warrior, it bothers me a bit that I can't take a fight seriously. I never thought the day would come when I would feel sad about something like this. I have leveled up. I am now 300. Just as I expected from you, Eluview Summer. In front of me was a large bathtub. Steam was emanating from the water. Tilda. I plunged into the hot water and let out a sigh of bliss. There was a bath at the base. Apparently, this building had running water, which was being pumped from underground. Also, the number of rooms was quite large, so there was enough room for the survey team and sailors to live. The ship was anchored at sea, managed and maintained by a small group of sailors. It will stay here for a month and then return to La Storia to report back to the king. And besides, it will be good to bring in more supplies and personnel. Glupshuchupai Kiora. The familiar beasts were also enjoying their bath. Shark Boy was enjoying the hot water, and when he felt too hot, he would jump into another tub full of cold water. On the other hand, Rojuk was still not used to the water, so he kept jumping in and out. Curitan, however, was floating in the air. Thanks to them, this place was full of life. We had become one big family. Master. Kid, who was wrapped in a bath towel, entered the bath with me. Her face was red, so much that you could say she was embarrassed. My lord, Frau is also here. QA. Frau and Panda walked past and entered a nearby tub. I'm sorry to disturb you. It's okay. Like Kid, I also felt a little embarrassed. While avoiding looking at Kid's half-naked body, I sat down on a bath chair. Kid began to rub my back with a wet towel that had soap on it. Does that feel okay, master? Yes, it feels fine. Phew, I'm glad you like it. The sound of Kid's good mood also makes me feel better. I feel something soft against me. Kid, are you hitting me with something? Kid hit me with something again. Don't tell me you're doing it on purpose. Frau, who was swimming in the bathtub, noticed. Kid, your breasts are hitting the Lord. What? Kid ran out of the bath with a reddened face and saying, higher. Kid is the kind of person who doesn't waste an opportunity, isn't she? Kiu Tilda. Frau and Panda stood there thinking as they put towels on their heads. Parky. What? That sound again. Parky. That familiar sound echoed in my head again. Notice, since the magic energy saving level has reached the upper limit, it will be paid out 100 times more. Notice, the payout has increased tenfold due to the effect of skill effect up. Notice, since the skill experience saving level has reached the upper limit, it will be paid out 100 times more. Notice, the payout has been increased tenfold due to the effect of the skill effect up. Notice, magic energy saving and skill experience saving have been damaged. It will take some time to repair them. Notice, the skill level limit has been destroyed. A new limit will be set. Skills. Not again. We have good news to tell you. Please read it. A week has passed since we arrived on the mainland. Almost all the members of the research team were in the 600 to 700 level range, and could now operate alone in the forest. The base was now more comfortable. The surroundings had been trimmed back a bit to make it easier to operate, and a road had been built to make it easier to get from the coast to the base. I think it's time we started our mission. Kid, Frau, the captain and the deputy chief nodded silently at my words as we gathered in the briefing room. I can't believe you're leaving us, Toru or not. No. Eluview Summer, the Mainayu Brigade has a more urgent job than escorting us. You must not be selfish. What a painful mission. Vice President, I want you to write down how sad I am in the mission log. That's something you should write in your diary. Okay, I'll do it. All of you left in tears. I still don't know why she likes me so much. When I asked the vice captain why, all I got was, I don't know. She is such a strange person. I decided not to think about it and continued talking. If possible, I want to be able to secure supplies on the mainland as well as in La Storia. To do that, we need to get out of the forest. We have the strength to defend ourselves now, but our food is limited. You are right. It takes 4 weeks for the ship to make a round trip, and if supplies run out during that time, we will be in dire straits. It is imperative that we investigate the outside world. Everyone nodded at the captain's words. His words carried more weight than mine. There are many people who respect him, perhaps because of his mature adult appearance. With those words spoken, we agreed on what they would do in my absence. The day came to depart. Everyone was waiting outside the base to say goodbye to us. Let me know if they need anything. Yes. I will never forget the beautiful moments I had with Toru Dono. I'm not going away forever. I would appreciate it if you would come to visit us regularly, so we can be informed about how things are going here. Sure, I'll come back as soon as I can. We said our goodbyes and left the base. It's a little sad, isn't it? We've been together for almost a month now, and it's strange to part like this. QA. Both Keed and I were saddened by Frau's words. They were all very kind people. We survived together until now. We were almost like family. If possible, I hope that nothing goes wrong and that we can complete this investigation without incident. Why does Toru-sama still not want to accept my people's traditional way of saying thank you? Monica was walking behind us, muttering. I'm not about to accept something like that. I'd be in big trouble. I'm sure Keed would punish me for that. That girl is a little crazy. Monica-san, you're a very good girl, don't feel sad. But I still don't know how to show my appreciation to Toru-sama. We continued walking along the marked path in the forest. I could really go for one of those transport beasts right about now. If I ever find a monster I can ride, I'll tame it. The continent is so vast that it will be inconvenient if I don't get one soon. What kind of monster would be suitable for such cases? Gawara. A creature emerges from the bushes. I waved my hand for all 3 girls to hide. What appeared was a huge monster with the face of a tiger and horns of a cow, standing at about 10 meters in height. Monica starts to tremble. A behemoth. Behemoth. I've never heard of it. Could it be a monster that only exists on this continent? It has a strange ability to enhance its stamina. So it's able to travel long distances. I want that animal as a pet. At least 2 more, if possible. I'm going to tame it. Toru-san. Take care of Monica. Yes, my lord. I approached the monster. As soon as it sees me, it lets out a roar and stands up on its hind legs. It was looking at me from its great height and baring its sharp fangs. Garawara. Its roar echoed through the air, rustling the trees. Even standing on its 2 hind legs, it's not half as intimidating as it sounds. But in a way, there is a hidden passion among men in wanting to tame such an animal. The monster swings its sharp claws toward my head. They were like sharp knives. Zun. As I caught it with my hand, my feet sank slightly into the ground. But the attack was lighter than I had assumed. You're coming with me. Gah. The behemoth was clearly surprised. Its eyes were wide and it had an expression similar to human shock on its face. I pushed its paws back, and its face twisted in fear so clearly that even I could see it. Then I slightly lifted the behemoth's huge body and threw it against the ground with great force. I climbed on top of its chest and looked squarely into its face. From now on, you are my partner. Good. I climbed on his neck, and the big behemoth stood up. The visibility was high and I could observe everything clearly. Well done, Master. You have succeeded, my lord. Now we can make it through the forest faster. You just tamed an S-rank monster. Immediately, Kid, Frau and Monica got on top of the behemoth and we continued our journey. With such a large body, it's easy to carry a lot of people. We'll have to give this kid a name. Yes. We have to give him a cool name. He was very big. And he looked like an Ishio. Ishio seemed to like the name and it resonated with his throat. This guy is surprisingly cute. Grew. Suddenly we encountered a second behemoth. I got off Ishio and tried to coax the next monster. Gurgara. Yeah, whatever you say, I'm not afraid of you. Kyuyun. The monster bit me, but I just petted it and it calmed down. It was a female, and we had already decided beforehand that it would be named Bakjiro. Kid and I will ride on Ishio, while Monica and Frau will ride on Bakjiro. I'm on top of a behemoth so casually, it's amazing. Master, Monica looks happy. Yeah, I guess she's crying from joy. That clearly isn't the case. Whichever way you look at it, I think she's crying from fear. Q. As soon as we resumed our walk, another female appeared. I did the same process as with Bakjiro. Growling. G-ah-wah-wah-wah-wah-wah-wah. 3 behemoths moved through the forest. Me with Ishio. Kid for Bakjiro. Monica and Frau for Bakaisu. The 3 monsters chased away all the other monsters that appeared in our path, making our journey easier. By late afternoon, we had passed through the forest of death. The next day we left the forest and crossed the mountain. The other side of the forest of death is separated by mountain ranges, and we had to go up a steep mountain road. However, the 3 monsters easily crossed the mountain. Even a wyvern that was on the cliff ran away. The skeleton it dropped was instantly crushed. I was glad to have encountered a behemoth. It definitely commands respect and awe. Monica, are you sure there's a village up ahead? Yes. There's a town on the border called Stani. We'll have to hide the 3 behemoths in the mountains. These guys are smart and friendly, but their massive faces strike fear. Luckily I have my ring with me. If I can raise it to level 3, I will also be able to disguise the behemoth's appearances. Maybe I should use the ring as much as possible in the future. The 3 monsters began to stray from the path, and started jumping down the cliffs. We reached the forest at the foot of the mountain and came out into a meadow from where we could see the city. You guys will have to wait for us in the forest. Ishira, Bakjiro and Bakaisu rub their faces against me before returning to the forest. I've found good beasts. Yes, after all, you are the master. They are strong and fast, what more can you ask for? Well, let's enjoy the city. I'm looking forward to it. We have good news to tell you, please read it. Stani, a remote town in the kingdom of Petadors. It was here that we were surprised by the spectacle that met our eyes. Is this the land of the elves? There were many elves in the city. Behind them, there were humans wearing collars. Merchants, knights, adventurers, individuals of all kinds are elves. The situation is completely opposite to the island we come from. Is there a problem? No, everything is fine. This is the norm here, and as outsiders, it's probably not something we should interfere with. But I think the status of humans in this country is definitely low. Master, are you thirsty? Yes, a little. Kid heads to a stall selling cold fruit juice. However, as soon as she took out her wallet, she seemed to notice that there was no money in it. Master Tilda. Kid's eyes glaze over and she asks for help. We're in trouble. I don't have any money either. To me, however, Monica takes out her wallet and pays the store owner. Thank you very much. I'll pay you back later. It's okay, it's normal for me to pay. After all, you saved my life. Monica bought enough fruit juice for all of us. It was a nice cold orange drink, sweet and refreshing. I peeked into the back of the store, curious about how the drink was chilled. There, a metal box made a strange sound, and the owner opened the lid of the box and took out the thin ice. I had never seen a machine like that. As the king of La Storia said, the mainland seems to have more advanced technology than the island. Phew, that's good. I could drink this for hours. Kiwi. Would you like some? Kiwi. Frau and Panda are sharing a drink. I'm glad they've become so close. And this drink is really delicious. Master, shouldn't we earn money as soon as possible? I totally agree with Keith's words. If we don't have money, we won't be able to indulge in any sightseeing. Let's start by earning some money. As such, I decided to go to the Adventurers Guild. It's very similar to the one we have back home. Being an adventurer is one of the oldest professions. There's nothing strange about the similarities between here and there. The guild on this continent was the same as the one at home. The only difference was that there was a small bookstore in the building. What's that? It sells books that the adventurers need. When they finish reading them, they sell them back to the guild and another adventurer buys them. Wow, how interesting. Here they are actively trying to get them to gain knowledge. I knew we were somewhat similar, but this is very different. But when you realize the details, the adventurers here are divided into two types, those who study hard and those who drink in the guild taverns. The ones drinking are pretty rowdy, and for all intents and purposes, they don't look like the type to read a book. Can I use this card? Let me take a look at it. I presented my adventurer's card at the front desk. The staff member checked the front and back of the card several times and tilted her head. Is this really an adventurer's card? If it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. Just to be clear, this card cannot be used here. I see. The guilds here and back home are quite different. With that, we decided to register with the guild. I would like a quest where I can earn a lot of money. Master, how about this quest? Keith gave me a paper of a quest that was to kill a chimera. The chimera is a monster that didn't exist back home. I'm suddenly very interested. And the reward isn't bad either. Let's go hunting right now. We jumped on top of the behemoths and ran fast across the meadow. The nearby monsters start to flee, and the people hunting those monsters flee as well. Ishio, there really is a chimera around here, isn't there? Good. Thanks to Master Tamer, I can vaguely communicate with the behemoth. So I talked to Ishio about the chimera, and he said he could tell where it was by its scent, so I asked him to take me to it. Gra. Ga. Guga. Ishio went in a straight line and the other two split off in two different directions. Could that be it? A monster that looked like a combination of three creatures, a lion's head and body, with a goat's hind legs and a second goat-shaped head, as well as a snake-like tail. As soon as the chimera saw Ishio, it fled like a rabbit. However, Bukjiro and Bakaisu blocked its escape route, and Ishio completely blocked its exit. Kiye. Ha. The chimera suddenly collapsed with its eyes clear white. When I went down to check on it, I discovered it wasn't breathing. I guess it's called death by shock. Behemoths are intimidating just for being behemoths, so it might have given up on living when it was surrounded by three of them. Master, I have recovered the chimera's corpse. Thank you. Let's head back to the city. We climbed back into the behemoths and resumed our journey. You've already hunted it down. One of the elves who were part of the guild staff shouts in amazement. It hasn't even been an hour since we accepted the quest. So it's no wonder he's astonished. The behemoth's paws were too fast. How much is the reward? Well, it's in good condition, and you also brought several other parts that were in the quest. So around 1.2 million. One of the materials the guild was requesting was the fang of a chimera, but since we brought it in whole, the reward went through the roof. We took the money and left the guild. We should feast well on this money. Q. QA. Can we go back to drinking some of that fruit juice? Panda says he wants some more. Panda flies around me as if demanding that drink. Did you like that drink so much? Actually, I did too, so let's buy it again. Just as I was about to head to the drink stall, 5 men blocked my way. Hey, inferior race, you just got a lot of money in the guild. Give it to us now. You want my money. The elves had scars on their faces, as well as a bad temper. Wherever we go, there's always a jerk. Monica starts to panic. Frau approaches me. My lord, do you want me to take care of them? No, I'll do it. I step forward. You're a stupid human. Maybe if you had run away, you wouldn't be dead now. The leader of the group drew his sword. I guess they are adventurers too, since they know we took the money. That's not my problem though. How am I going to deal with these guys? Any move I make can wreak havoc on the place. And the last thing I want is to attract any unwanted attention. I'll try to stop him. Hup. I threw a punch at the elf, stopping right in front of his face. The man's face was shaken by a strong shockwave. The nearby buildings shook a little. Looks like this level of force will be enough to scare them. I threw another punch into the air, causing all the elves to tremble in fear. I'm still holding back, even though I'd like to use all my power. If I really wanted to hurt them, I would have already killed them with a single punch. The man in front of me sat on the ground, his crotch wet. Let's get the hell out of here. What should we do? Who is that human? When I looked up at the other 4 elves, they shouted and ran off. Well done, master. Are you all well? Yes. Keed looks captivated and wags her tail in delight. Frau was patting Monica on the cheek to wake her up. She had fainted from fright. Hey, get up. Huh. What's wrong? Nothing, now get up. We want to go drink juice, so you're coming with us. Hui. Frau and Panda dragged Monica to the drink stand. Thud, thud, thud. The 3 behemoths shake the ground while walking. These animals are very conspicuous, so we avoid busy roads as much as possible and pass through more rural roads where not many people pass by. Soon we are in Sinus territory, where Monica's father rules. Once we get Monica home, we can finally take a load off our minds. The behemoths cross a stream, jump over rocky terrain and emerge over a cliff. From the highest point, he could see the city in the distance. Apollo, it seemed, was a port city. And in the distance we could see a large sword stuck in a rock. What is that? It is said to be a remnant of a great battle that took place long ago. This city was built on the ruins. So that great sword is a relic. Exactly. I didn't know such things existed in these lands. It's really interesting. This is the passion I was talking about, the love that provokes wanting to travel. We continue on foot from here. Gru. We said goodbye to the 3 behemoths and headed back to town. Idiot. Hee. In a room in the mansion, Monica is yelled at by her father. I told you to stop being an adventurer. I'm sorry. You leave me no choice, you will have to receive the lashes, as the clan's secret punishments dictate. Please forgive me. Anything but that. Monica was grabbed by the knight and dragged out of the room. I'm curious about that spanking thing. Why does it have to be that way? Her father crosses his legs and smiles. You saved my daughter's life. Thank you. There's nothing to be thankful for. Don't be shy. I'll pay you back handsomely. Marquis Bilfrel claps his hands and the human servant places a leather pouch on the table. From the sound, I could tell that it was gold. 1 million. That's a lot of money for a human adventurer. I don't doubt it. The amount of money makes me laugh. It's not a lot of money. He seems to despise me quite a bit. Well, that's fine, since I wasn't expecting any payment. When I looked inside the room, I noticed that there are some very old things on display. A jar with barnacles, a sword, a shield, among many other things. Don't you think it's wonderful? I'm a collector, mostly of rare artifacts. But why do you keep them? Because it gives me a sense of history. If you find something good, bring it to me. I'll give you a good price for it. Though I doubt you will find any inferior race, ha 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 ha. Keith and Frau look annoyed hearing her words. I wouldn't like to stay in this place for long. Besides, I'm afraid that if we don't get out of here soon, Frau will start misbehaving. Say one more word, and her temper will cause her hammer to smash the whole place to pieces. We left the mansion after a few random conversations. What the hell is wrong with that guy? Only $1 million for rescuing his daughter. Every single thing he said irritated me. He was making fun of my lord. QA. QQQ. Ho. I like that idea, Panda. We're going to destroy his mansion. You two, stop. I ordered Frau and Panda to calm down. I think we should be glad we got some tip. It's not right to complain about the small amount of money. I looked at Keith and was pleased with her attitude. She was very calm and wasn't complaining about anything at all. I can't forgive him, he made fun of the master. He thinks he's an inferior being. We're going to freeze this city. It'll be permafrost overnight. I was wrong. Kid, you made all my admiration vanish. I'm afraid of Kid. Her eyes are full of murderous intent. I mean it. If I don't do something soon, this city will disappear overnight. Let's enjoy the city more. We've crossed the ocean, there's sightseeing, eating and adventures to be had. He's right. It's more meaningful to have a good time with the master than to engage with the elves like that. What that old man did almost made me forget myself. Phew, that was close. I break out in a cold sweat. Actually, I'm probably more afraid of Keith than I am of Sora. She's the last person you want to piss off. Knock, knock. There's a knock at the door and Keith opens it. Thank God, I found you. Monica-san, weren't you at the mansion? I snuck out. I didn't think my father would reward Toru-sama and his friends so little money. Monica continued speaking. Since my father doesn't plan to do anything about it, I'm going to resort to thanking you per my clan's traditions. The moment her belly button came into view, Keith and Frau rushed to hold her clothes in place. I'm so sorry. I knew that people in this country had a tendency to look down on humans, but I didn't think my father would behave like this towards the man who saved my life. Forget it. You don't have to worry, Monica. Toru-sama is very kind. Your strength and generous spirit make me want to take off my clothes without resorting to my clan's traditional show of thanks. Stop it. You're an exhibitionist. I'm going to hand you over to the authorities if you don't stop. I tried to persuade Monica to keep her clothes on, and sat down in a chair. My father is a good person. The day my mother died, he changed completely. Now he collects heirlooms like he's obsessed with them. I could tell that. Monica frowned as she looked down. But her expression quickly brightened. What will Toru-sama and his friends do now? Come to think of it, I didn't ask you what you were going to do. We're looking for the master's hometown. In addition, we will also visit my hometown. Although I know where it's located, so we'll save that for last. Oh, so Keith remembers her hometown. I thought you didn't even know where it was. While Frau was relaxing on top of Panda, she flies over and asks Monica something. By the way, do you know anything about Dragon Town? I'm afraid I don't know anything about it, but if you go to the capital, There are people who are investigating and might be able to tell you something. Good question, Frau. Ah, yes, the capital. If we go there, we might find some clues about my mother's homeland. I will repay you for saving my life. I will no longer depend on my father. I will be the guide for Toru-sama and his friends. Tell me what you wish to see in this land, and I will take you there. Can you take me to where that great sword is? Q. Sure. I'd like to visit some souvenir shops. Sure, no problem. I want you to show me places where I can find some good food, and I want to be shown places that have nice views, preferably somewhere exciting. Leave it all to me, I'll take care of everything. Monica immediately invited us to dinner. There were many seafood dishes lined up on the table. After all, it is a port city, so seafood is plentiful. So it is normal that it is used in every meal. I thought all seafood was the same, but it all has different textures and flavors. It's crunchy and has a nice texture. It's addictive. What Keith and I are eating is a kind of shellfish that looks like a whitish bird's beak. In contrast, what Frau is eating is a shellfish with thick, soft flesh. Monica smiles with both hands on her cheeks. It's fun to be with you guys. I feel like every day I get to teach you something new, and vice versa. It's like you're from a different place. After hearing that, I got to thinking. This girl, hasn't she figured it out yet? Although it's partly my fault for not explaining it to her. But it's something that most people would guess. We have crossed the open sea, after all. Well, I don't want to stand out in a weird way, so I'll keep my mouth shut for now. It will be our insurance that nothing bad will happen to us. Foo-hoo, foo-hoo. I feel something moving, and at the same time I can touch it. It's so fluffy, and feels so good to the touch. Master's smell. Sniff, sniff, foo-hoo. What is this feeling? It feels so good, I like it. Master. Who is that person talking? I don't care though, I just want to keep playing. Master, master, master. My eyes open little by little. My consciousness begins to emerge and I know I am close to waking up. Whoa. When I sit up, I see Keith in front of me. Good morning. Yes. Good morning. What is this strange feeling? I looked down and found that my chest is slightly damp. When I looked at Keith again, her face was very red and her fox ears were flattened. She looks at me with downcast and wet eyes. Tough. My lord. Let's have breakfast. QA. The door slams open, and Frau and Panda burst in. Monica enters a few seconds later. Let's go have breakfast at a restaurant that serves pancakes, Keith. We'll eat lots of sweet things together. Hey, wait, Monica-san. Monica grabs Keith's arm and forces her to go with her. What's this? Under the bed, there was a scroll used to enhance the sense of smell. Pancakes with honey on top. Keith's face immediately breaks into a smile. Isn't it delicious? Yes, it's very delicious. It's the sweetest thing I've ever tasted. I'm a bundle of happiness. The three of them happily ate their breakfast. I took a bite, but it wasn't too sweet. It was moist and it was the kind of pancake that makes you want to take another bite. We only visited stores recommended by Monica, the Marquis's daughter. I was surprised to learn that elves live by the sea. I thought they never came out of the woods. Of course I like the forest, but I can't give up the comfort of living on the abundant food and ruins. Is it safer and more comfortable to live by the sea than in the forest? If Alucia heard that, she would say, "You're a disgrace, you've abandoned your roots," and then get very angry. Monica, can you also use spirit magic? Of course. I have a contract with a water spirit. I used my dragon eye and saw a fish around Monica's shoulders. The fish noticed my gaze and hastily hid behind Monica. I always felt that spirits were sensitive to my dragon eyes. From here you can clearly see the giant sword. It's so big, it's a wonder they made it. We gaze at the towering sword from our seats on the terrace. It is about 300 meters tall. It's a simple design, but its overwhelming size makes it seem so majestic. It's another spectacular sight, which you can't see unless you come here. Today we'll visit some ruins. Are they near here? The ruins of Sinus are by the sea. It's a popular place for adventurers. And it hasn't been explored yet. There's a locked gate at the end, so no one has seen it from the inside. I like the sound of that. It's not a bad idea to get some valuables here for the trip. If only for the fact that it's a ruin by the sea, it's even more exciting. Ruins of Sinus. The ruins of an ancient species, whose purpose of construction and use is unknown, located by the sea. The exterior resembled a temple, made of stone and crumbling in parts. Near the entrance to the ruins, we saw several adventurers. Apparently, they have come in search of materials to hunt monsters. But why are they always wearing bathing suits? We quickly went deeper into the ruins with Monica's guidance. There is water in the passage. That's natural, since it's by the sea. Isn't the lower level almost submerged? Yes. But we have taken all the necessary precautions. Suddenly, Monica opened her chest to reveal her swimsuit-clad breasts. My gaze lingered as I watched the two mountains move with great intensity. Master, don't look. Hugh. Keith hurries to cover my eyes. But she's in a bathing suit, what's the problem? Besides, she didn't react fast enough when she covered my eyes. I've already seen everything. If you need to change into your swimsuit, you should have said so. Oh sorry, do you need one? I already have one, I have it in my luggage. But next time, be sure to give us a heads up. I'm sorry, I apologize to the cute Frau. Cute. Hugh. Frau blushes at the compliment. Arrow slash. The monster in the hallway was slashed by the wind blade. The remaining monsters fled the scene after the boss was killed. Phew phew. Frau and her friends are very strong. QA. What do you mean I didn't do anything? Keith's credit is also Frau's credit. Q. You asked for it, Panda. Above my head, Frau and Panda are arguing again. It's good that they're close, but I'm trying to think right now. Kid, Monica and I would strip the monsters of any useful materials. I then put away all the gathered materials in my magic storage. You'd better find a new storage room. This one has little capacity. Really. I think it's quite spacious. If you go to a dungeon, you can find lots of them, almost 1,000 of them. They say they have a capacity of up to 10,000 items. Really? Is there a magic storage item with that much capacity around here? I guess there are items here that aren't available on the island. I would like to go to one of those dungeons at some point. Going through the old passage, we find a staircase. But it's completely filled with seawater, and we'll have to swim to continue from here. I'm going to change. Wait here a minute. Then I'll be there. I change into a bathing suit in a remote spot. I hear sounds of rustling fabric nearby. It sounds like Keith and Frau are changing. Have they grown even more? You think so? I didn't notice. You have a beautiful figure, Keith. Don't just start touching them. Blap. Oh, no. I'm getting excited. I need to calm down before I go back to them. We're done. Ah. When I came back, I saw the 3 girls in swimsuits. And Frau was in her human size. By the way, is there any air underneath this? There are a series of air pockets. If you go through them, you can easily get to the bottom. They say that several hidden rooms have been discovered here in the past. Various relics have been found in the hidden rooms and adventurers have earned a lot of money. These ruins, they still intrigue me. I pull out my underwater breathing scroll. Use this everyone. The effect of underwater breathing lasts for several hours. While the effect lasts, you can literally breathe underwater. After activating the scroll, I got into the water and called out Shark Boy. Glub glub. Shark Boy rubbed his body against me. I guess he thought he wouldn't be called for a while now that we were on land. He seemed to be happy. Kid used her magic to create an orb of light. Wow, it's full of debris. And I see lots of fish. It might be connected to the sea somewhere. Baha. I come out of the water. Kid and the others came out seconds later. There was nothing to find, was there? I don't know, we haven't checked the whole place yet. Or maybe someone came before us. Do you think there's any treasure down there? Frau is looking at the closed door. Is it possible that this is the locked door they say is at the end? Monica tried to push the door, but it was still locked and could not be opened. If I had a key, I could get in. Too bad. Let me try. It's no use. No one has ever been able to open that door. I pulled out a wire and inserted it into the keyhole of the door and opened it in a second. What we heard was the creaking sound. How is that possible? You opened it with a simple wire. Monica was so astonished that she recoiled. With my super universal key, I can handle this. Now, let's take a look at the relics behind this door. I pushed the door with both hands. Is this it? There was a small base inside the place. A blue jewel glittered on it. Wait, I've seen this jewel somewhere before. I think it was at an auction. Master, it's a life extension jewel. That's right, it was the same jewel that sold for 850 million. It's a rare item that can save you from death only once. It's not as precious as the elixir, but it's still valuable enough for anyone to want it. It's mine. I'm not giving it to anyone. Monica suddenly grabs a jewel and tries to escape. However, Frau, who moved quickly, grabbed it. What are you doing? That belongs to my lord. Give it back. Please, please give it to me. Screw you, you big-titted elf. Don't touch my breasts. Don't rub them like that. Given the bizarre situation, I decided to ask Monica what was going on. The Jewel of Life Prolonging, a rare item that will save you from any kind of death, just by holding it, just once. However, this relic has a hidden side effect. It instantly heals the trauma or illness that directly caused the death by reviving you. But it will not heal the injury or illness that said person was affected by at the time of death. That is the occult effect of this jewel. My father started collecting relics in search of the jewel that prolongs life. My mother has been given only 1 year to live, and she suffers from an incurable disease. With this jewel, there is a chance to save her. In a room in the mansion, Monica sits on the couch in front of us and speaks. On the table sat the jewel, glittering. This was the reason you became an adventurer. Yes, I was looking for this jewel to save my mother's life. I thought the rumored ruins at the bottom of the ocean contained this valuable object, but unfortunately, we suffered an accident and the ship sank. She should have told me. I would have helped her with one of the elixirs I have with me. Clank. The door opens and the Marquise de Burflo enters the room. Why are you here? Wasn't the money I gave you the other day enough? Have you come to ask for more? You filthy human. He sits down next to Monica with an annoyed expression on his face. Now tell me what this inferior race is doing here. He looked down and his eyes grew wide. He kept looking at the jewel with the power to prolong people's lives. Monica, is that what I think it is? Yes, it is, father. You found it. Well done. No, it wasn't me. It was Toru who found it. What? His gaze turns to me. I wasn't expecting it at all, that kind of look. He instantly turns pale. Well, okay, I'll give you 3 million as a reward. That's very cheap. This is worth at least 100 million. What are you talking about? I don't know how much something like this is worth, but I'm sure it's worth at most 2 million. And I'm giving you 3 million for being someone very special for saving my daughter. I hate lies. As I went to grab the jewel off the table, the Marquise grabbed my arm. I'll give you 10 million. The price is 800 million. If you can't get it now, I'll give you enough time to collect it. I can wait. That's a ridiculous amount of money. This amount of money had been decided in consultation with Monica. I would have loved to give it away, but Monica wanted me to charge him a fair price, so here we are. I see, so this is fake and you're trying to rip me off. You damn dirty human, do you want to see my bad side? No, you're wrong, father. I watched carefully as Toru found this. It's definitely a real gem. Monica. Monica got up from her seat and looked at her father with a serious look on her face. This time you have to thank Toru and his friends. Without them, we wouldn't have found this relic, so you have to do it for Mom. But... Toru, take the relic. Wait. Wait. The Marquis stands up and begins to take off his clothes. He strips down to his underpants, sits on the floor and raises his hands. Please sell me that relic. How much are you willing to pay? 800 million, I promise. Monica nodded her head in satisfaction, but as for me, I feel a little bad about this. I didn't want it to go this far. I never thought the Marquis would perform his clan's secret act of gratitude. Rather, he didn't have to take off his pants. I don't want the money. Your mother's life is in danger, it wouldn't be the right thing to do. What? You can't do that, Toru. The right thing to do is for us to pay you for this. Monica, this was never about money. If this can help your mother, I'll be satisfied with it. Monica smiled and her eyes moistened. She tried to take off her clothes, so I quickly stopped her. Thank you so much. I'm honored to be able to meet someone who not only saved my life, but my mother's as well. My daughter is right. I have been blinded by my hatred and contempt for your race that I didn't see what a good person you were. Oh, I felt embarrassed and scratched my cheek with my finger. Her dad's attitude has changed drastically, it's kind of weird. I'm glad he's a little calmer now, but it's still creepy. I just did the right thing, didn't I? I'm glad that my master's greatness has finally been recognized. True, it calms me down quite a bit. QA. Kid, Frau and Panda seem satisfied for some reason. We understand that you don't want money, but isn't there something else you wish for? Anything. So, is it possible that you could supply us some food and water on a regular basis? I opened the map and kept talking. I would like you to use one of your ships to deliver supplies to the people on the coast that is located here. It would be great if you could do it once a month. The Dead Forest Coast. Yes, I would like your help with this request. Of course, if it is something that might be too difficult for you, you are free to turn it down. I just need those people to receive a steady supply of food and water for a while. I see. Okay, I'm willing to do that. This will finally allow the research team to do a decent job. I'm sure we'll make a lot of progress when the Sinus territory and the research team can interact. But it's still not enough. It's not enough to have saved the lives of my daughter and my wife. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you to wait a little longer. I'll be sure to return the favor to your satisfaction. Really, that's not necessary. Please, I insist. The Marquis's words were so firm that they made me nervous. With that intimidating aura around him, there was no way I could refuse. Frau sprinkles some fairy dust around us and we take to the skies. It's been a few days since I've come to this city. I've been to most of the places I could visit. And we still had one last stop left to see, and it was up there. I flew vertically and aimed at the top of the giant sword. Gently, lowered my foot to the edge of the huge sword. Whoosh. The smell of the tide reached us with the wind. In front of our eyes, we could see the vast ocean. We sat on the edge and took in the scenery. There's our island. Do you miss it? It hasn't been long enough for me to miss home. I'm excited about all the things we'll find. Me too. When Kid approaches, I put my hand on her shoulder. Her fox ears droop and her expression becomes happy. Kid, stop cheating. Frau wants some too. Okay, fine. I put my arm around Frau, which was easy since she was in her human size. Q. Panda flew above my head. It was a very pretty sight. Once we get off of here, we won't be seeing the ocean for a while. I have to engrave this image well in my memory. We won't see Monica again, right? Exactly. I asked her if she wanted to join us, but she declined because she wanted to spend time with her mother. Besides, Monica wanted to volunteer to be the mediator between the research team and the city. I'm sure everyone on the coast will be relieved to have contact with someone who is already known by us. The next day, we met up with the behemoths and said goodbye to Monica. I will miss you. I'd like to see you again. We will definitely come back. Take care of yourself, Monica. You too, best of luck. I shook hands with Monica. The Marquis de Burflo is also here. He handed me a necklace. The decoration was engraved with what looked like a family crest depicting a carved shark and anchor. This is an item that we at Bilfrel only give to those we trust. If you wear it, you will be treated as one of our own. Is it like I'm part of your household? In a way, yes. I am ashamed to say that this country does not regard humans in the same way as elves. The days ahead will be difficult for you. I see, thank you very much. This is nothing compared to what you have done for me. Torudorna, since you are heading to the capital, this item I have bestowed upon you will open many doors for you. I also shook hands with the Marquis de Burflo. See you later. Goodbye, Monica. Goodbye. QA. The behemoths that were waiting for us in the bushes jumped out of them. They stood on two legs and said goodbye to Monica. The Marquis de Burflo froze with his mouth open. We are now heading for the royal capital. It is the center of the kingdom of Petardors. They say there is someone there who knows about dragon folk. Gugawawawawawawawara. Guiwiwiwiwiwiwiwiwiwiwu. Guruga. Gurulu. The three beasts ran ferociously down the road. People who crossed our path screamed in fear. Having crossed the Sinus territory, we continued to advance through the forest. Monica told me that there is a village down the road called Noelia. It seems to be a small place where many humans live. They say it's in a valley, so they serve delicious wild vegetables. I'm looking forward to it. While riding the behemoth, I look at the map and am filled with anticipation. A village in a valley, which means the mountains must be nearby. Someone once told me that mountains are a forbidden passion of men. The farthest peak is where a man must aim. If there is a mountain, I will certainly climb it. Are there ruins in that place? I don't think Monica mentioned anything about those. Because it's a human village, I guess the elves haven't paid enough attention to it. Then I guess we won't find any treasure. I'm sure we'll find a great adventure soon. There are quite a few ruins on this continent. It's a fine day, with the white clouds beautifully standing out against the blue sky. Master, there seems to be a river nearby. Let's take a break there. Once we reached the river, I got off Ishio and sat down on my knees in front of the stream. I dipped my hands in to scoop up some of the crystal clear water and bring it to my mouth. It is cold and delicious. I took out my water bottle and filled it. Then I washed my face. When I turned around, Kid was behind me, offering me a handkerchief with her outstretched hand. If you don't mind, Master, you can use this. The handkerchief was embroidered, and on the bottom corner was a small knit image. Dark hair, round face. Oh, maybe it's me. Did Kid knit this? Are you sure? Yes. After all, it's for you, master. When did you make it? Monica-san taught me how to do it. I know it didn't turn out very well, but I thought I could at least use it to clean my master's face. She looks down and her face is slightly red, as if she's nervous. However, her tail is wagging vigorously, so it's obvious she's expecting a compliment. I pat her on the head and thank her. Thank you, I'm very happy about this. Master. Ie. Master, 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 master. Kate hugged me and buried her face in my chest. She kept sniffing me. I have too tender a slave. My lord Tilda. Frau, who was scanning the surroundings, saw Kate and frowned. No fair, Frau wants some petting too. Now, it's all right. He, this feels so good. I love you, my lord. Thank you. Suddenly a window appears in front of me. Notice, experience saving repair has been completed. I knew it was about time. The words keep popping up. Notice, the level of the camouflage ring has increased to level 3. The fog is getting thicker and thicker. It's not like a normal fog. I can feel a bit of magic in it. It's like someone created it. The area was completely white because of the fog. Ishio and the other two slowed down and advanced cautiously. The fog seems to cover a large area, and even if we advance, we can't get through the white maze. Is it the work of a monster or a person? Hey, isn't that the village? Yes, but there is a strange smell in the air. Is it blood? Ahead of us, we see a shadow that looks like a group of buildings. We get off right near the village and decide to go inside. There's no one here. True, but I can still sense people. The village was quite small. A dense fog had crept in and filled the place with an eerie silence. It gave the impression that the village itself had fallen into a deep sleep. Master, there's a person over there. I find a person sitting down, leaning against the wall. I approached and saw that it was a middle-aged man. He seems to be sleeping soundly and doesn't seem to wake up when I shake him or give him a light tap on the cheek. This is clearly abnormal. What is going on in this village? I found another one lying on the ground over here. Me too. Gather them here for now. We found 3 people. They are all of different ages and genders, but one thing they have in common is that they are in a deep sleep. If this is a poison or a curse, I can do something with the medicine I have. They have a sleep irregularity I've never seen before. So someone is probably behind this. That's the most likely explanation. Why would someone do this? Could it have been a bandit with magical powers? I don't think that's possible. From a thief's point of view, it's true that the residents are a nuisance, but why are all the houses' doors still locked? Would a thief take the time to relock the doors? I opened the door of a nearby house. Inside, there was a figure of a person sleeping soundly in a chair. There were no signs of a robbery anywhere. Could it be that the person responsible for all this really isn't a thief? Dune. I heard what sounded like an explosion and there was a tremor. Outside the house, black smoke rises from the center of village. Come to think of it, Keed said that she smelled blood earlier. Maybe there are people still awake and fighting. We ran in the direction of the explosion. A group of people staggered down the street, letting out screams. They looked like zombies, or puppets. They noticed our presence and turned in unison. The whites of their eyes were clear to see and drool was coming out of their slightly open mouths. Their movements were slow, but there was a restlessness about them that made me take a step back. Master, they are still alive. The state they're in is a result of mind manipulation. The residents of this village have become puppets. Kid, can you stop them from moving? No problem. Solid ice. Opening her iron fan, Kid danced gracefully. The ice instantly encased the villagers' feet, blocking their advance, That will buy us some time. We have to find out what is causing this. We left the residents behind and ran toward the center of the village. Die, 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 die. The young man swung his sword in fury. He cut down the swarm members mercilessly. When are we going to end this? Ask Zig. I'm not interested in these things. He's not very nice, but I admit I like to make the dead shine. A woman who appears to be a wizard unleashes a burst of flame with her wand. The impact destroyed the villagers and the buildings. There was a black knight beside her, his face covered, so I could not see his face. However, the speed of his sword is quite fast, and even the simplest attack reduces the number of people in the blink of an eye. I felt a strange nostalgia for that move. I've seen it before, but where? Something tells me this won't end well. They probably don't realize that the villagers are being manipulated. Kid, blow the villagers away with magic. Don't let them hurt them anymore. Yes. Kid waved her iron fan and a strong wind descended from the center of the sky, blowing the crowd of people away. Frau, let's go. Gotcha. I instantly closed the distance between me and the young man with the sword, and made him stop. He was about to kill a girl. Who are you? Get out of my way. Listen. The inhabitants of this place are just being manipulated. What needs to be eliminated is the cause of this situation. The young man laughed at my words. What's up with that? These guys are human, right? I did not immediately understand the words the young man had said. He doesn't mind killing innocent people. Some of them were still small children. Humans are a weak race that is at the mercy of the elves. What does it matter if a few die? Do you have any idea how to free them? Well, then get out of my way. He shoves me and raises his sword towards the girl again. Jin. Our swords clash again and a metallic sound spreads through the air. I stopped his sword again. I see you still haven't learned your place yet. I'll find a way to fix this. So don't kill them. That doesn't matter to me. All I care about is getting what I want. This isn't about pleasing a client. We're talking about the lives of innocent people. You're annoying. How dare you get in my way? You're human. I pushed his body back with my sword, at the same time protecting the girl. However, the young man immediately regains his stance and heads towards me. It's difficult to fight while protecting a child, but considering the influence on the surroundings, it's not a situation where I can clash swords with the intention of hurting him. Kid is also busy dealing with the magician over there, and also with Frau fighting the Black Knight. Maybe I can convince him if I can persuade him. Please listen to me. Damn human, how come you can stop my attacks? My level is over 500, it's quite annoying not being able to kill a disgusting human. It's like you won't listen to me. Please listen to me. Ah, shit, what should I do? Gotcha. Not likely. Nugu. As soon as he raised his sword, I gave him a light kick in the groin. I kept my blow from being too hard so that his balls hadn't been crushed, I hope. With this he should have calmed down. The young man dropped his sword, grabbed his crotch and crouched down. Zig. What happened to him? The other two, who are probably his friends, also interrupted the fight and rushed towards the young man. Kid and Frau move behind me. The teary-eyed young man is supported by the magician and stares at me. Okay, it's okay, I'll quit this time. You can thank me later. I don't mean to ruin your work, but it's not right for you to kill innocent people. Shut up. If you don't solve this, I'll come back here and kill every single person in this place. Tell me what the name of your party is. I'm Toru from the Mainayu Brigade. And these are my friends, Kid and Frau. I am Zig, the hero of Petardors, a member of the Wise Sword of the Sacred Forest, and these are Keltina and Aid. Oh, so he is the hero of this continent. Well, he does bear a resemblance to Sane. I have memorized your names and faces. The next time we meet, you will pay for what you did today. Zeke turns the back of his right hand toward me. The mark of the beast was there, glowing red. Get out, Sylvia. Gah. A gust of wind is generated and a beast appears. It is an inorganic object that looks like a flower. In the center was an octahedral mass slowly spinning like a jewel, surrounded by a large flat scaffold of what appeared to be 4 petals. Zeke and the others climbed onto the petals and floated gently. I hope you will do your best to find the cause of this problem. See you later, Fox Girl. Apparently, that thing is called Sylvia, and it's a type of flying beast. I didn't know that kind of beast existed. Maybe it's a creature that hatches from a huge beast egg. We have already confirmed its presence in the elven village. It's hard to believe that they're elves like Alusha-san. Not at all. It's not fair to compare Alusha-san to these elves. Besides, both Keed and Alusha-san have respect for the Lord. Really. I agree with Keed. I can't imagine Alusha talking the same way as these guys. Although I think she did when we first met, but then she changed. Or am I wrong? Well, no time to think about it, there's a lot of work to do. Kid, do you see anything suspicious nearby? No. There doesn't seem to be anything in the vicinity that's causing this. It's possible it's hidden. Frau, is there anything we can detect? No. At least it's not hiding in this area. I'll check again from above. Frau flies directly overhead, further extending her range of visibility. Icefall. Snowflake-inducing magic dyes the ground pure white. The feet of the approaching villagers are now covered in ice and cannot move. This will buy us some time. As expected of Keed, she can always be counted on. There's a lake over there. Judging by the density of the fog, I'd say that's where it's coming from. That means there's something that's creating this crazy fog. Shall we go to the lake then? Yes. Keed and I decided to head to the lake following Frau's guidance. What do you think? Are there any suspicious creatures? I noticed a large reaction in the center of the lake. It appears to be an aquatic creature called a mistmaker. According to my appraisal, it creates a hypnotic fog and manipulates living creatures. It's a monster I've never heard of. Is it reasonable to think of it as an endemic species living on the mainland? Anyway, the cause has been found. Shark Boy, are you ready? Glap. I activated Mega Boost in case it was even more dangerous than I think. Shark Boy headed towards the monster at breakneck speed while raising a column of water. I couldn't see the fight due to the thick fog. I only managed to see the red light emitting from Shark Boy. Besides that, I could hear the roars of the monster and Shark Boy. The thick fog starts to fade. Maybe it's over. What is that thing coming towards us? As Frau said, there is a large mass floating on the surface of the lake, coming towards us. But it's not swimming, it's like drifting. It came to the water's edge with the current. The mistmaker. It looked completely like an octopus. It was about 10 meters long, with a slimy body surface and a dark blue color. On its head, there were innumerable holes that looked like exit wounds. It looked like it had been mauled by a shark, and there were many burned holes on it. Also, its lungs seemed to have stopped completely. Glop glop. Shark Boy came out of the water. I patted him on the head, and he began to shake his body with glee. I guess now the villagers here should be back to normal. Wow, I never imagined there would be monsters like that around here. Frau isn't very good with octopi or animals with soft bodies. Keed smiled as Frau poked the monster with a branch. Thank you for your help. I'm sorry I couldn't save everyone. Don't be sorry for that. Without you, the adventurer would have killed us all. The village chief shook my hand in gratitude. The survivors present also nodded at his words. More than 30 residents were killed by Zig and his companions. It's a shame to think that I could have saved them had I arrived earlier. Thank you for saving me, Onyi-chan. I'm glad you're okay. The girl's smile seemed to save me a little. The wise sword of the sacred forest. If I ever get the chance to see you again, I'll punch you in the face. I don't care if you are a hero of this country. I will never approve of your way of doing things. The sound of crackling fire echoed as Keat stirred a steaming pot with her ladle. In the pot are many mushrooms that were given to us in the village, and although they look green, they give off a very pleasant aroma that stimulates the appetite. The forest is quiet at night, with Rojuk and Curitan keeping watch over the place. Chupai is perched on a tree branch, and Panda is happily being groomed by Frau. A quiet dinner, the most relaxing time of day. I see you like it. Q. You should thank Frau for brushing you like this every day. Kiru. Huh. It's only natural for my sweat to have a sweet smell this time of year. Besides, it's not like I sweat that much, right? Hey. Why are you looking away? Frau was not only looking at Panda, but at us as well. Keat and I avert our eyes. Frau's back has such a sweet smell that, if placed next to an ant hill, they would surely all crawl up her body in a second. I never imagined that a fairy's sweat would smell sweet at a certain time of the year. The people of this village are very grateful to us. Yes. I felt a little bad when they insisted we stay a year with them. With a hero like that in this country, they must be desperate. You mean that party? The heroic sword of the sacred forest, led by the hero Zig, the most famous adventurer in the country at present. His reputation is quite good, and he has already accomplished great feats. Of course that is the reputation he has among the elves, but the opposite is true for humans and other races. I don't think it's misinformation from what I witnessed before. Well, I must say it's impressive what an amazing beast they have. To be able to fly several meters high with multiple people on board, it's to be admired. QA. Panda was in shock. I looked at his eye as it started to tear up. Panda jumped onto Keat's chest. Frau, please think about Panda's feelings. My mistake, I'm sorry. The good thing about Panda is that he's not tall enough to fly. And you have a soft and fluffy feel to you as well as being delicious looking. Q. Why are you crying again? Poor Panda, his pride has been broken in every possible way. The next day, we could not continue our journey due to it raining heavily since early morning. We took shelter from the rain under a large tree, and stayed and waited while listening to the sound of rainfall. Cura. Thank you, Curitan. Curitan, who is protecting us from the rain, hands a ball of yarn to Keat with one of his tentacles. She was busy knitting something. She really been getting into sewing and knitting lately, and since I told her how happy I was with the scarf she made for me, she seems to have picked up more impetus to go on. Master tilde, master tilde, master tilde, master tilde, master tilde. Hey, Keat, can't you do something about that weird song? What, was I singing that? Yes, you were. She refocused on her hands, and began humming as she wagged her tail. Panda was behind her, chasing her tail with his gaze. Frau is sitting on the branch of a big tree, eating cookies. I squat in the rain while watching my friends. Rainy days are great for strength training. You get sweaty and clean at the same time. I've always decided that weather like this is a workout. I see that the Lord likes to exercise a lot. Yes, the one-son who lived next door to me when I was a kid did it all the time, and that's how it became a habit for me. She had big breasts, didn't she? How did you know? The only reason for the young master to go to the trouble of training in the pouring rain is because he loved to see his neighbor's breasts become visible through her wet shirt as it clings to her body. So every time it rains, those memories come to mind. Am I right? That's right. Does she have a detective job? Or is it that she can see the past now? The reason I like breasts is because of my neighbor's influence. My stay in town was short, but those muscle training days were one of the factors that shaped who I am today. Master, do you like that person? No, no, no. It's only because of her breasts. Damn it. What am I saying? Frau, the great detective, knows exactly what you're thinking. Frau-san, please don't do this again. Otherwise I'll take away your cookies. No. Not my cookies. What a horrifying theory. How dare she dig up my hidden past? From now on I will treat Frau-san, 28 years old, more carefully. I stroked Keed's head as she grew teary-eyed. We stopped at a small village on the way. In the center of the village, the villagers had gathered and were discussing something with serious faces. If this keeps up, we will be annihilated. Still no news of the adventurers we requested. No. At this rate we are going to starve to death. If only there was someone who could use spirit magic. Annihilated, starve, some very disturbing words. What's wrong? That outfit, are you an adventurer? You've come to the right place. Hey everyone, the adventurer we requested has arrived. Wait, One of the villagers grabbed my arm and pulled me towards the gathered people. Without allowing me a chance to explain, the villagers surrounded me while saying things like, only you can help us and, please get rid of them. Okay, just tell me what's going on. According to the villagers, crop-eating monsters have been frequently appearing in this area. As a result, they are in a critical situation. The name of these monsters is Sangra. They are a type of vermin that moves along the ground at high speed. I knew these animals well, since they often appeared in my hometown and devoured the crops. That's why I can understand their anger. They are weak animals in terms of strength, but when it comes to escaping they are terribly fast. It's not easy to get rid of them, even for experienced people. It's terrible. A lot of potatoes have been devoured. They do what they want. QA. There were holes made by the Sangra all over the field. Potatoes were left scattered all over the field, and other crops were also chewed up. In addition, the roots seemed to have been bitten off, and all the plants had wilted and some had even turned a light brown color. Rojuk, go. I called Rojuk out from the seal. Get rid of any Sangra you find. Shawa. Curling his body, Rojuk dives into the ground and tracks down the Sangra. Rojuk, who sees his surroundings with different senses, can also see the monsters lurking in the ground. Pig-eye. Shoo. The vermin escapes from the ground, crawling out of the hole as it screams. But my beast was by far faster than it, and the Sangra was pierced through the body and then died. One of them is already dead. Surely there are about more than 30. With Rojuk's help, the vermin began to dwindle in numbers rapidly. The extermination will be completed soon. Bogo. Bogo go 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 go. The ground rises high. A shark-like dorsal fin sticks out of the ground. Based on its size, I'd say it was the chief of the Sangra. The beast started moving towards us at great speed. Here it comes. I'll let you guys handle this. Keed and Frau stepped forward. The beast rose up from the ground and swung its sharp claws at them. I won't let you touch the master. Plink. Keed froze the monster in an instant, followed by Frau, who struck it with her hammer. Hammer Bria Yelik. With that, the Sangra boss was crushed. It seems that the extermination of the monsters is over, and Rojuk has returned. A total of 40 beasts were annihilated. It seems that there were more than we thought. We have finished our work, but a lot of the crops were damaged in the process. Sorry, it was Frau's fault. Frau lowered her head in embarrassment. I looked at Keed, and she was also confused by the things Frau says. Hey, Frau, did you forget that you have the growth prayer ability? Ah, yes, you can accelerate the growth of plants. But how effective is it on weak plants? Leave it to me. Be prepared to praise Frau a lot. a dazzling green light emanated from Frau's body. The light fell on the plants and was absorbed by them. Would it be enough to bring them back to normal? Master. The plants that were about to die regained their vivid color, and the withered leaves turned upward as if they wanted to stretch their stems toward the sky. It was hard to believe that the plant that had been dying just a moment ago was alive again. The crops that bore the most fruit seemed to have grown in size. Frau, your power is incredible. Very well done. You were amazing. I like that. Come on, praise me and pet me. Frau was in a good mood, and even more so as she rubbed her head against my palm. However, what just happened will get us a lot of attention. It will make us stand out more than planned. We revived a field that was about to disappear in a matter of seconds. Fortunately, there are no villagers nearby. Let's quietly leave this place. I don't want them to find us here when they see this. That's so common of you, Master. Saving people without asking for anything in return. Thank you. I wouldn't put it that way, but I guess it's okay. We left as fast as we could. We arrived at the capital of the Petardors nation. I hid the behemoth in the nearby forest and entered the city. You are not allowed to enter. Get out of here as soon as possible. Several guards gathered at the entrance and told us that we were forbidden to enter. The rest of the elves passing by us enter the city without a problem. Some humans also enter, but they all wear collars, indicating that they are slaves. In other words, humans who are not slaves cannot enter the city. What a nasty way to treat people. It makes me want to break through. However, let's see if we can settle this quietly first. I'm not one to brag. I have identification. We don't want an ID. If you really want to get in, you have to be a slave. But for 300,000 I can give you a special pass. What do you say? Pretty generous, right? So it's about money. There's a way for non-slave humans to get in. But in exchange for the scorn, they charge you quite a high price. But most of all, why do we have to be the only ones to pay? What is this nonsense about elves being good and humans being bad? If they discriminate against us, we'll go in with all our might. I don't plan to pay you to enter the city. But I'll still take the liberty of doing so. What? What the hell are you talking about, human man? Hurry up and pay me. Or do you want to pay with the slave behind you? Step aside. The guards pointed their spears at me, but I ignored them and continued on my way into the city. After 4 steps, a spear was thrust into my abdomen. But the point didn't even penetrate the skin, and the guards were astonished. It didn't go through. It's like stabbing a stone. Guys, don't let them in. Who? I thought elves were superior to humans, can't they stand against me? The handle of the spear snapped. I pushed forward, pushing the guards away. The guards cling to my body to prevent me from entering. He's so strong. I can't believe the 4 of us can't stop him. Somebody call for reinforcements. One after another, the guards rushed over and clung to my body. Of course, there was no way to stop me. I walked dragging more than 10 elves with me. I proudly entered the city from the front. I'm not sure if this guy is really human. He's surpassed level 100. Captain, what should we do? This is a situation we can't handle. Damn it, I'll take care of him. Get out of the way. Oh. He stopped. I just remembered something. I remembered that Monica's father had given me a necklace with the family crest on it. I pulled the necklace out of my pocket and let the guards check it out. I'm so sorry, I didn't know you were from the Burflaw family. If you're related to the Marquise, even if you are a human, I would have let you pass right away if you had shown me this. The man called the captain lowered his weapon and smiled at the conversation. It seems to have worked. When I see Marquise Burflaw again, I will thank him properly. Captain, is the necklace real? I thought Marquis Burflow didn't like humans. I don't care if they are fake or real. If they cause any more trouble they'll probably get us fired, but keep an eye on those guys just in case. Understood. I could hear the voices of the guards at my back. They seem to think I can't hear them talking at this distance. Surely a normal human wouldn't be able to. But unfortunately for them, I am not a normal human. Master, the person we're looking for knows a lot about dragons, right? Yes, but I don't know where he lives. I was only told his name. We'll have to ask the people in this place where we can find him. We'd better go eat. There's a nice restaurant there. QA. Come to think of it, we hadn't had lunch yet. It's not too late to find a place to eat, and even more so in a place like this. So we decided to go to the restaurant. What the hell is this place? It's disgusting. What do you mean humans can't come in? Q. I'm going to tear this whole store apart. Q. Frau is shaking with rage. Keat and Frau could enter the place, but not me. The owner forbade me to enter. It seems that discrimination is very strong in this capital city. People on the street looked at us coldly. With this atmosphere, I have a feeling it's going to be hard to ask around. Tap 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 tap. There was someone moving from shadow to shadow, directing a strong gaze towards us. I guess it's the surveillance imposed on us by the guards. Wait. After a while of chasing us, the watchman ran into a narrow alley. But Keat had already surrounded him. Phew. I won't let you go. The person whose way is blocked was nervous because he is caught in the middle, and he starts to stagger to the point that I feel sorry to see him. He's wearing armor, but it's obvious from his silhouette that he's actually a woman. I want you to do something for me. I want you to guide me somewhere and in return I'll pay you. I promise we won't try anything. Tell me where we can go and we'll let you go. I know you think the master is a bad person, but he's just the opposite. He's someone very kind. Keat persuaded the girl to help us. The female guard sits up and raises her hands in a pose of surrender. The female soldier's name is Jessica. She is a humble girl who has just enlisted in the army. It seems that the soldier who was ordered to guard us was too much of a coward and forced her to do the job. In any case, all I can say is that she has no talent for surveillance. I am trying my best to become a full-fledged soldier. But my superiors don't teach me anything. I'm forced to do grunt work and I don't know what I'm supposed to do on the field. You're having a hard time, aren't you? Yes, I am. I'm having a really hard time. Jessica was a beautiful woman. She had her hair tied up in a ponytail. She seemed to have a low sense of discrimination towards humans, and it was fairly easy to get to know her. The fact that she had just arrived from a small town in the countryside was probably an important factor. Yabai-san lives in that building. I should warn you that he is known for his eccentricities. You never know what he might do. Really. So he's a weirdo. I like him already. But I've been told that person knows a lot about dragons. Since I've learned the truth, I can't stop here. I knock on the front door. Yes, who is it? The one who opened the door was a woman in a maid's uniform. But I immediately had a strange feeling. There was no sign of life in her. It was as if he was looking at a doll in front of me. What can I do for you? We are adventurers and we are on a mission. I would like to ask Yabai-san a few questions. Status confirmation attention, camouflage is applied. Confirmation of genetic information, SS evaluation, administrator authority accepted. Welcome, Master 2. The maid ushers us into the building. Wow, there's a lot of clutter and junk in here. What's going on here? There's a maid here, but she hasn't cleaned up anything. No, I was wrong. Looking closely, everything is different. At first glance, it seems to be in a chaotic state, but it looks like it's sorted properly by type. It's amazing. What is this place? QA. Oh, so the rumors about him being a weird guy are true. Master, why did she call you Master too? I don't know, I'll ask Kibai-san when I see him. The maid led us down a narrow hallway with a big pile of knickknacks piled up, to a staircase going down. Master, a customer has arrived. Send him away, I'm busy. But he's already here. Who ordered you to let them in, you pompous maid? I demand correction, I am a machine that functions perfectly in all its capacities. Perhaps the problem is in the master's mind. Shut up. I will dismantle you into silence. Try if you can, but I know master won't be able to do it, ha ha. The old man and the maid started fighting, so we decided to wait for them to finish. 30 minutes have passed. The quarrel between the two is still not over. The master should bathe at least once a week. His smell is so strong you can see it. You have no idea of the things the neighbors say about you. Let them say what they want. Why do you even spend so much time dwelling on things that don't matter, like the smell of the person who made you? Turn off your olfactory senses. I beg to disagree, master. Why should this machine sacrifice its sense of smell for the sake of its master's selfishness? It is so questionable that I doubt your sanity. You are my maid. Since when did you get the misconception that a maid will listen to your every word? How long is this going to go on? Frau is so bored she's falling asleep. And Jessica, on the other hand, was already asleep. I think you should stop them. I don't want to be a nuisance by getting in their way. The basement was just as cluttered as the upstairs. There were various oddly shaped glass containers, metal pipes and pots, bottled herbs and monstrous materials, countless scrolls on the shelves, and a large magic circle on the floor. Perhaps he is an alchemist. Stupid. You're stupid. 00 bastard. 00 master. 00 alchemist who can only do 00 to 00. Damn it. Somebody kill me. I want to die right now. Victory. The maid flashed a V sign with her hand while remaining expressionless, but she looked somewhat proud of herself. I don't care what just happened, I just want her to introduce us already. And why don't you comfort your master? He's crying. My name is Yabai, an alchemist. Yabai, red-eyed, took a sip of his tea and introduced himself. To him sat the maid. Hey, why are you sitting next to me? You need to know your place. Since when do you think this machine is beneath you? All right. Do what you want. You just ordered me to, so I'm free to do it. Yabai speaks again. So, Toru, you want to know about an ancient species, right? The dragon people. Yes, I'd like to know more about them. I'm willing to pay you whatever you want for that information. That is, of course, if the information is correct. I don't care about money. I want to know why. I'm interested in your motives. I'm speechless. I don't know how I'm going to explain it. If I start from the beginning, it will take a long time, and the fact that I am a dragonoid will be revealed. Even I'm not stupid enough to think it's a good idea to reveal a secret to someone you don't even know you can trust. This man is 99.9% dragonoid. And judging by his genetic information, he's the son of Master One. Oh, so you're a survivor of an ancient species. Then it makes sense. What? How did you know I was a dragonoid? The maid just revealed my identity to the old man. What just happened? QQQ, I see you're surprised. She has a human appearance, but she's actually a golem, one of the original ones created by the ancient race. Life Support Golem LL0223. Life Support Golem. In other words, it's an artificial object. Yes, Master 2. The maid made a V sign without changing her expression. Frau and Panda, who showed interest, approached the maid and observed her closely. She seems to be alive. Even if she's not real. QA. Of course. This machine is one of the beings that can be called the crystallization of wisdom. It's a high-performance maid golem that can meet all kinds of demands. Originally, it shouldn't be in a place like this. And you're also a first-class foul-mouthed one. Yeah, whatever you say, old man. Have a cushion so you don't hurt your back. Yabai was very angry. The maid seemed to have no idea what was going on and didn't seem to care for it. Kid, who had been keeping an eye on the situation, laughs. Since you saw me, you've been calling me Master too. What does that mean? It means Second Lord. Me after Yabai. No, Master too. Yabai-sama is a temporary master. The official master registered to me is your mother. What do you mean by that? My mother is your first master. If so, why is she here? I looked at Yabai again. He looked away, seemingly angry. Master, talk to this young man. I don't want to, you explain it to him. This machine doesn't know what happened before it woke up. It must be the genius alchemist, Yabai-sama, who explains, as only you know the circumstances. Genius alchemist. Yabai reacted with a jerk. I would like the rare genius Yabai-sama, who is overflowing with talent and has won all kinds of honors, but has discarded them all to continue his research in solitude, to explain himself. Very well, I'll do it. The motivated Yabai begins to speak. Yabai had always shown great interest in the ancient race. In the process, he researched various ruins and artifacts, and managed to duplicate some of them, making Yabai's name widely known. One rainy day, an unknown woman appeared at his door. She was carrying something wrapped in cloth and told him she was a dragon person. Yabai was skeptical of her words, but with the use of an appraisal scroll, he knew it was the undeniable truth. He was very excited about it. An ancient species thought to be extinct had survived. There was so much he wanted to know, so much he didn't know what to ask, Yabai said. The woman called herself Kiwa. She was a woman of few words and, contrary to expectations, did not talk much. A very quiet woman, she read a lot of books, strangely perceptive, a good cook, and a great cleaner. She was very intelligent, and also seemed to understand Yabai's research instantly. After staying here for a few days, she left the maid, the golem, and went somewhere. Kiwa never gave me an answer to all my questions. It's like she was trying to hide from something that was chasing her. What if she had no memory of who she was? I don't think that was the case. It was Kiwa who repaired the silly maid here. Life support golem LL0223 was fixed by my mother. Maybe the thing my mother was holding back then was the maid. Kiwa. That's my mother's real name. Although it's the first time I've heard a name like that, I like it. What do you know about my mother? I'm afraid the memory of this machine has been deliberately erased. The only order I have been given is to serve this old alchemist. So her memory's been erased. That's not good. I thought I had found a huge clue. I turn around and see that Jessica is still sound asleep. I'll let her sleep a little longer. Did she say where she came from? I don't know. I asked her where she was from and where she was going, but she wouldn't tell me. Yabai continued his story. But she did tell me the reason she was traveling. What did she say? She said she was searching for a place where she can find peace. Hearing this, Mom's happy smile flashed across my mind. Mom had finished her journey. That place where she lived with me and my father was where she found peace, wasn't it? When I think about it, I feel a warmth deep in my heart. That's all I needed to hear. Thank you, Yabai. Wait a minute. I don't know where she came from, but I know someone who might. Really? You should have said that earlier. Yabai pulls an old book off his shelf. He flips through it and shows me a page. In this world, there is a race called celestial beasts who possess unimaginable power. It is said that they are the progenitors of the beast tribe, and that they served the ancient race. Celestial beasts. A woman with fox ears who looked like Kid appeared in the book. On our return to the palace, we knelt gallantly before Her Majesty the Queen. Hello, Zig. How was the mission? I'm sorry, Your Majesty. We couldn't complete the mission. A human interfered, so we couldn't fully exterminate the villagers who were possessed by the mist. Don't worry about that. Never mind the lives of the lower races. I sent you there to get everything under control, but whether they live or die is something that shouldn't matter. Thank you for your generosity. A mental smile forms in my head. I knew this would happen anyway. As Her Majesty's favorite, I wouldn't be blamed. After this, you will be bent over my bed, pleading with me in the wildest way possible. Soon you will be impregnated by me. If that comes to pass, my position on the throne will be secure and I will be able to rule this country from the shadows. Being the hero is only a stepping stone. It is impossible for a man as talented as me to remain a mere hero. I will climb to the top in the end, then live the rest of my life the way I want. There is no plan more perfect than this. Soon you will be on your way to defeat the evil dragon. You know your mission, don't you? Yes. As a hero, I must slay the evil dragon and reclaim the sacred land. Good. The Spirit King is still waiting for us there. You can't afford to fail, Hero Zig. You will have to make careful preparations for the final battle. I will, Your Majesty. After receiving the request, I went to leave the audience hall. However, Her Majesty stopped me. Oh, by the way, I hear your fiancée is back. Why don't you visit her to see how she's doing? I will in the near future. Her Majesty looked at me with jealousy in her eyes. Damn you, you old hag. You're disgusting. Surely you're worried that I won't marry you. Don't worry, I won't leave you. You are necessary to fulfill my wishes. They've already been defeated. When I arrived at the village, I received unexpected news. The other day, a group of adventurers accepted the job of killing the Samegra. In addition, the adventurers revived a field that was about to disappear and left without receiving any reward. The villagers praised them, saying, they were our saviors. What's going on? I am supposed to be the one who accepted this job. Why was it done by someone I don't know? I don't like this. You've got to be kidding me. Please accept one of our menu vegetables, hero. Menu vegetables. What's that? We call them menu vegetables on behalf of our saviors. They have grown sweeter and bigger with the help of those people. We are all very grateful to them for making our village famous. I squeezed the tomato offered to me by the villagers with my hand. Why do I have to eat that thing? I'm the one who should be praised. Zig, let's get out of this disgusting town. It smells like dirt, there's nothing here and it's boring. Keltina. Easy, Aid, it was just a joke. You should watch your words. The hero and his party are always being watched in every aspect. Yes. Aid picks up one of the tomatoes and thanks the villagers. I'll take this one. He is a member who just joined our party recently. He speaks very little, and always wears full jet black armor that you can't even confirm his face, or even his age and race. He is a man shrouded in mystery. But I don't mind. He has fighting skills, doesn't talk much, and can be minimally trusted. With that, I am satisfied. After all, friends are disposable. I'm satisfied as long as they're useful. Above all, I'm not interested in men. Let's go. Yes. We arrived at Apollo, in the territory of Sinus. Do you know what you're doing? How long are you going to prepare this? Don't bother me. Aid, did you buy the flowers? Yes. I check my hairstyle over and over again in the hand mirror. My fiancée. It's been a long time since I've seen her. She's an adventurous tomboy despite being a marquis's daughter, but I like her smile and enveloping aura. And that seductive body she can't fully hide. I can't wait to embrace her. I've had over 100 women in my life, so I know. That woman is magnificent. I can't stop drooling. How silly. Do you think you can conquer her? That's a stupid question. With my skill, awareness induction, she's already leaning 80% towards me. If I can take one more step, Monica will be mine. You have this thing called me, and still a fiancé, too. What are you talking about? Our relationship is just sex. If you have a problem with that, you can leave. I am sorry. I'm just a little jealous. TCH. I hate women who don't know their place. I'll teach you a lesson later. It's time for me to make you my property, Monica. The love of my life, my fiancé, I'm here to see you. Our engagement is cancelled. What? I dropped the bouquet to the floor. It was as if I couldn't understand a word she was saying. I'll say it again. I'm breaking off my engagement to you. Why? Wasn't it your family that wanted the jewel of life that I possess? That's why you pledged yourself to me. We have already found one. Our family wishes to continue to have a good relationship with the Count, but we no longer have any reason to proceed with this engagement. That's a lie. It thought I could finally make Monica mine. Then Marquise Bilfrel showed up. Oh, hello Zigdornot. As expected of the hero, you were the first to come after my daughter's return. Well, it's only natural that I come to visit my fiancé. Besides, there's something that just took me by surprise. Monica-san said she wishes to cancel our engagement. Is that true? You didn't know? I'm sorry, but I spoke with your father the other day. The Count has accepted our request to cancel the engagement. My father accepted that proposal. Damn it, how much money did he ask for this? I knew he didn't want me to have his daughter. I was so close. So close to having Monica. Monica. You don't want to marry me. No. Besides, I've met a wonderful man who I've fallen in love with. And not only has he saved my life, but my mother's as well. Another man. I opened my eyes wide, astonished. Her mind, which should have been leaning towards the thought of loving me, had completely moved away. Awareness-inducing abilities have a weak effect at first, but over time they can bring about major mental changes. There is no doubt that she used to have feelings for me. And yet, within a month, the situation has changed dramatically. It is reasonable to assume that something has happened that has nullified the effect of the ability. Oh, right. She said her life was saved. Giz, who is this guy? The one who took my Monica. I'm going to kill him. I'll make sure he's dead. If he disappeared from this world, she'd come back to me. Can you tell me the name of that wonderful person? Yes. His name is Toru Summer. The video ends here. Join us again on the next video for more chapter of a warrior exiled by the hero and his lover. Please like and subscribe. See you on the next video.